Welcome to the Yummy Masterclass. Whether you're watching not live or you're with 100 absolute goats watching live right now, we actually had so many people join live right now that it made it so my stream was full and no one could watch it all. And we actually had to have multiple streams showing this genius stuff. So let's get started. There's 100 stuff, guys, I want to go over. Everyone watching live, I want you guys all to mute yourselves just because I'm going to speak for every single tip I know on this deck, some that aren't even mentioned in the Yummy spreadsheet. And I'm going to go over every one card combo as if you know nothing about this deck, down to all the way to the most advanced parts of this deck. There's going to be so much knowledge dropped in this 5 hour period. And at the conclusion of me asking and answering, sorry, explaining every tip I have on the deck as well as multiple different deck lists. Keep in mind, non-engine of deck lists will always change for every event. Like, there's a reason why I'm playing one Nibiru. Like, you might be wondering, why are you playing one Nibiru, Trif? I'm gonna get to everything. There's a specific reason why. I'll just say it now because we're already there. But you could go Lina, Crash, going second, search Nibiru, destroy Yummy, and make them cry. So there's many reasons why of every single engine piece. So I'm gonna explain it all at the conclusion of me saying about every single tip on Yummy. I will then, one by one, unmute all 100 people watching live right now to answer any question you guys have. Will this take over 5 hours? Maybe. But so we'll try to keep the questions to a minimum. And as great news, I told all 100 live members, there's going to be a second masterclass totally free of charge for every single person that has purchased the masterclass already. That is going to be YCS Vancouver training on Thursday, totally free, to go over the last second changes. And I have changed my deck list. I change my deck list every 2 days, as everyone on the Discord knows. I call everyone that comes on the Discord my generals. As for my generals, they know I change my deck list every 2 days. I'm on a Crocky, I remove a Crocky. I'm on 1 for 1, I remove 1 for 1. I put Perulia main deck, I put it in side deck. I change shit every 2 days because that's my duty as the Yummy spokesperson, basically, to try every method known to mankind. In fact, at my regionals tomorrow, me and Mario D'Amico are both taking Yummy board breakers because you need to test every method of every single deck, period, to make sure it's the best way to play it. So if I'm telling you Yummy Hand Trap is the best, but I didn't take Yummy Board Breaker to a large tournament, I only took it on Dueling Book, that would almost be snaking you guys because it's not good enough. Sorry, there's a call at the hotel here. Hello? Hey. Yes. Sure, no problem. Thank you. Bye. Hi guys. The hotel actually needs me at the front desk for a little bit because I'm pretty sure she just wants to talk. She just wants to talk to me because I'm. But I'm kidding. But no, I had to go pay something that she just mentioned about. So my homie Assad is gonna run the masterclass, and he's going to. Sorry,
I'm okay.
you're gonna take the masterclass?
I'm not okay.
It's 30 cents. She said. Okay. But yeah, okay. Wow, I want you guys to meet Assad. He wouldn't spend the masterclass talking shit about Yummy, and then you guys could have talked shit back. It would have been hilarious to see. Um, but yeah, we've been on the go to get this going ASAP. So, anyways, we need to try every single deck because the last thing I want is for the day before the event. If I switch from hand trap to breaker, I want you guys to fucking know what deck I'm playing. I don't want there to be any thought or concern, and you guys will all know my deck list before the event. In fact, I expect you guys to copy my deck list. I don't want to hide my deck list. I will fucking force you to use my deck list. Okay? I want you guys to all take it card for card. So, Thursday I'll be going over each of this with what I have. But what I do believe in my heart, the best deck list currently is this hand trap list you're looking at. This is what I do believe in my heart is the best list, period. So we're going to start one by one with every single tip and save your questions for the very end where I'm going to go over each of them. Give me 1 sec, please. And this is going to be the longest piece of training of Yu-Gi-Oh! You'll ever see, but I don't care. Because we're going to keep it rolling and keep it going. So, we're going to start here with deck list stuff. So, I understand Piri Raise Map is a card you might want to play in as well. But the deck needs as much starters that are good as humanly possible. Piri Raise Map, I like to consider it kind of like snake oil. It looks like if you just read the card, it says, oh, you have 6 Cupsies if you play 3 of these cards. But it's not as good as it seems. Because when you have a plethora of yummies in your hand, and one of the Piri Raise Map, it can't special like the others. And even though Cookie and Lollipop are the worst starters, they're still names. I would much prefer to play 1-for-1 over Piri Raise Map because it's a special summon. You guys are going to recognize, as a majority of you 100 have been playing, I'm sure you guys have realized that a major issue of this deck is when the opponent deals with a normal summon. I'm sure you guys have recognized. Sometimes it could be literally MTP. It could be MTP banishing. It could be Cryptor banishing. It could be whatever. If you have 2 yummies in hand and the opponent, clears it with your normal summon, you're fucked. So I would much prefer playing 1-for-1. This is why Engage needs to be at 3. A lot of people are running Engage at 1. It's fucking stupid. It's a full 1-card starter that's a special summon. And that'll lead to now a tip number 2 that I want to say here. When you open Engage, do you guys remember in the spreadsheet, it just said 2-card combos are the same? There's an advancement to the 2-card combo now. I'm going to show you a really important line here involving Engage. I'm going to go ahead and say a bunch of tips that come to my mind, as well as the 100 tips I have in front of me that I'm going to be telling you guys. I'm going to show you a hand with Engage and Cookie. This is a very important line because I guarantee you that you guys have had this situation happen before and didn't know this. This is extremely important, and I'd say it's quite advanced. Okay, so I'm going to have Cupsy aside for example number 2. If you have Engage and Cookie, you always start Engage, okay? This is first or second, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go over the spreadsheet at a basic knowledge of the deck and best combos. But this is a bit more advanced training for now, but I want you guys to watch this. So, Kagari. So, going to get Hornet. Going to go Hornet Drone Summon. Now, this is an important play. You do not make Cupsy right now. You don't. Your play over here, if you go Cupsy right now with Kagari and the token, you want to know what's going to happen? They're going to they're going to Veiler or Imperm you, and you just gave them an opportunity to use Veiler or Imperm in an otherwise situation where those cards are utterly useless. You're currently on 3 summons. So you special the Cookie or the Lollipop that you have, you play 6 of, and then you take Kagari and the Cookie Yummy into Cupsy. You guys see that play right there? I know, my brain is very large. Where is the Cupsy? Right here. That way, if you go Veiler or Imperm, you could then chain 3, use the second effect of Cupsy to dodge the Veiler or Imperm, and summon up the Cookie in grave. That is not possible without a Yummy in graveyard. Additionally, this also makes it so if your opponent were to even purge or Ash, you still have full combo. Because you just go this into Link 1 into Field Spell, and you still have Lollipop and all the cards you need. So, make sure to do this. Tip number 3. The Hornet... tip 3. When it's not Cookie, let's say instead of Cookie, it's Cupsy in your hand. You do not reveal you have Cupsy. Let's say the other situation is you have Cupsy, not Cookie or Lollipop. You guys with me? In that situation, you do make the Synchro 2. Because you want your opponent to Imperm Cupsy. You want your opponent to Veiler Cupsy. Because the card you want to resolve is Cupsy Yummy. The main deck Cupsy. So if you have Cupsy and not Cookie or Lollipop, and holy fuck, saying these names are so weird as a grown-ass man. But anyways, I love the decks. I don't give a shit. If it's Lollipop or Cookie, you summon it first because you need Cupsy Yummy to resolve to search Cupsy Yummy. But if you already have the Cupsy Yummy, you could allow them to negate this to eat a hand trap, and then you go into your Link 1. Always, this tip 4 now, always summon the Link 1 first prior to special summoning Cupsy. Now you special Cupsy. If they want to Veiler Imperm the Cupsy, you chain block by quick synchroing. Make sense?
Okay.
And as Assad just said, oh, they might go Soger the Snatchy there. No problemo. Go Soger, normal summon. And just like that, you played around everything. So there's 2 card combos that are specific to engage and yummy. Like 2 card combo specific, if whether it's cookie or whether it's cupsy that you start. Now I'm gonna show another tip here. Let's say you open cookie and cupsy. Let's use that. Oh, let me use this. Let me show this tip. You open cookie, Peru, just insert 3 hand traps. Okay, you draw cookie and 4 hand traps. Doesn't matter. You will receive this hand many times. Countless number of times have I seen this hand. Infinite number of times have I seen this hand. And let me tell you, this is a fucking broken hand. But I'll tell you what most players do. They summon cookie. This play is fucking dog shit. If you go cookie as your first card and go snatchy, you lose to any hand trap ever created in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even fucking DD Crow. Every hand trap in the game is now good. That's not what you do. I don't care if Perulia is fucking another Imperm. I will normal summon Ghost Ogre. You take your most useless hand trap and you normal summon it. You must play Almirage. If you're playing hand traps and not playing Almirage, you're an idiot. You are simply committing malpractice. By doing this, you now play around a whole hand trap for free. In fact, your opponent can't even Veiler Imperm you. You play around every hand trap better, and you completely dodge Veiler and Imperm entirely. So now if they Veiler Imperm, it dodges, you get the others, and you get Cookie out, and they cannot hand trap you. Let's say they hit you with Purge or Ash, which is obviously right now is when they'll do it. You still have full combo. You still have 7 interruptions, but if they hit you on your Snatchy by normal summoning the cookie, you lose it. Use your yummies as special summons. Normal your hand trap. Even if they purged or ashed the Cupsy Yummy, you are still able to hit this off. You are still able to lollipop. You still summon 2 monsters. You still go SP. You still receive full combo. This is, with all the hand traps, 10 interruptions. And 1 Synchro 2 leads to everything. Okay? Next. If you start with 2 yummies. One sec. Before I go next. Are there any questions with what I said before I go next? Because I went, I said 5 stuff in a row. Any questions?
Yo, Trif.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, Bowie's here, man.
Yo, what's
can
up,
you show me how to go? Can you show me how to go full combo if they like decide to Ash and Purge your Cupsy way?
Yes, 100%. That's a great question.
Because that seems to be like the new target that everyone's going for now for Ash and Purge is to hit the Cupsy.
Yeah.
The Cupsy way, the Synchro.
Yeah, great question. Great question. That's funny. I just read the chat. Kazuva noise complaint. That's what I was scared of. But they'd have to suck it because I'd be louder than this for the whole fucking next 5 hours. They'd have to get a whole police to get me out of here. Okay. So the Cupsy play. Okay, let's assume we have whatever starter we want. I'm just gonna show you an example here, guys, because this will change every time. So guys, Bowie is my homie from Toronto. He took Yummy. He actually bought the Masterclass when he shouldn't have, because that's my literal IRL homie. I would have just given it to him, but he wanted to support, so I appreciate it. And he took it to an OTS, and he won the whole OTS with this knowledge alone. This is real good stuff, guys. And to answer your great question there, let's say they ash the Cupsy. Now, of course, depending on our starter, it'll be different. If we start with Obedience School, we already have all 3 engraved, so if they hand up the Cupsy, it's good for us. If we start with Engage and we have no other Yummy, this is why Engage, even though it's a great extender, it's not good for, like, if they hand trap the Cupsy, we're fucked. If we have no other extender. But in the most likely situation is we have one of the 9 Yummies. So if we have one of the 9 Yummies in rotation and they do hand trap the Cupsy with Ash or Purge, which is the perfect time to Ash or Purge the deck, even if it's not Cupsy, here's what you do. So hold on, let me show you just a most likely situation of this. Let's say we have the exact hand I mentioned. Engage, Cookie, we'll even say we have like 1 brick in Perulia, Ash, and we have like Purge. No, remove whatever. Remove Ash. Doesn't matter. Whatever. This is a prime example of a hand that we'll have. To answer the question, one sec. Okay. So to answer Boo's question there. So this is a prime example. We have no access to Cup C from deck. We go engage. We go Hornet. Hornet into Kagari. Into the token. Exactly everything I said to do. In this situation, you will not normal Perulia for El Mirage. You will save this if your Cup C resolve to discard. Because you don't want to ever play into Nibiru. Oh, side note, sixth tip here quickly, or seventh or some shit. I'm not gonna keep count. There's gonna be like 1,000. This token can never be tributed by Nibiru because it specifically says this card cannot be tributed. So if you're ever randomly comboing, always leave the the Hornet token always, because if you're randomly comboing, you just save this token for the very last play. Because if they Nibiru you before your Herald, this will still stay. And then you get this token and you get a normal token, to which you go, okay, this for play Link Spider. I'll tell you why I don't play Link Spider in a second, but play Link Spider. There's a better play around Nibiru than Link Spider. I'll explain the real way to play around Nibiru. But if they Nibiru you at any time, you go Link Spider, and then you have a synchro right there. You have Link Spider and a non-token. So keep that in mind. That this can never be Nibiru'd. Okay, so in this situation, to play around the Cup C hand trap, this is the example we'll use. We'll summon Cup C here, and Cup C gets hit with Ash. If we go Veil or Imperm, obviously we'll tag out, but specifically it's Ash or Purge. So our next situation, alright, that sucks, but it's fine. We go Snatchy. Snatchy to get Field Spell. Special. At this point, this is a skill that I have fucking honed like incredibly. You have to soul read if the opponent has Nib or not. Sometimes it depends on the deck. Now, even though you guys saw I play Yummy 3 Nib in the main or side, most Yummies do not. So if I'm playing against Yummy, if I have a 10 times better board, if I just ignore Nib, I'll fucking ignore Nib. Because Yummy, we have 8 extenders that are specify no monsters. So I'm going to go ahead and make the judgment call if there's no Nib. Even if they do have Nib and Ash or Nib Purge, I'm still cool with that. Because typically the deck that plays Purge is us, Yummy, which means they won't have it. So I go into Lollipop here. I would still save this token in case they do. I go SP right here. And I'd pass. You have 2 hand traps. I'd set Imperm, of course. And this is what I do. I'd also set Purge just because we have SP on the field. We already have Cookie. Let's say Lollipop is Lollipop would be a better example that we start with, because Cookie is an interruption on its own. At some point on the opponent's turn, this will always change on what action they use. You will summon this back. And this. Here's a little trick. At some random point that you feel is necessary, you could go like chain. So you could also bring out the token. If you want to book at that time, sure, but you re-special the same Cup C. You see what I did there? There was 1 monster, but by chaining the Snatchy with the token, I just got myself 2 monsters because it's the last chain link. And now this resolves. If you play the late field spell, which you probably it's still debatable. I'll get to the field spell later. But by resolving Cup, you resolve Cup C on the opponent's turn. And now it's just fodder that I'm going to use for Herald. So now I'm going to use this to search for Cup C and Cookie. Let's say I really want Cookie's pop for etc. reason. For my Cookie Synchro 2 that I'll bring up later. You discard the Cookie. So Cup C will resolve regardless by discarding the card you want as the interruption. So later down the line, when I go into Cookie, I'll be able to do something, even though we already used the effect of Cup C. So now when I go into Cookie, we'll book, and then on top of that, we'll pop 1, because we'll have the field spell up as well. So we already resolved like 5-6 interrupts. And then the last effect, we'll use this to bring out this and the pop 1. So that's how leveraging the effect of Cup C on on their turn, you could still get access to all names. And if you start with Cookie, or let's say you start with Cupsy, you'll have both in rotation, so you'll still get the plus anyways of all of them. And you'll have follow-up. And if you play Starham, this is where Starham comes up, where you're able to go Starham. You get I don't play it, but it's definitely a good card. You get the free draw from Cupsy, eventually use the effect of special, and then Starham, and that gets you the Herald. So that's how you use Cupsy Synchro 2 on the opponent's turn. I'm gonna go over some more things.
Thanks, Trif. Yeah, we'll attest that I wouldn't have won that OTS championship without your knowledge. So really appreciate that once again, bro.
Thank you, bro. You're the GOAT. There's so much stuff I want to say on the deck. I'm gonna keep going here, guys. 2 Yummy Surprise, not 1, not 3. 2 is the very specific number you need to play. The reason why 2 is the very specific number you need to play is you want 1 when that you're hard searching, turn 1, and you want 2 in the deck to search for follow-up. It's that simple. If you hard draw 1, it's very good because now you're able to use both effects, 1 and 2, with the opponent not knowing that you have it. So it's a great extender to draw, and setting 2 is broken because you're able to use the first effect and the second effect on the opponent's turn. The third effect even comes up at times when the win con of the opponent, as you guys saw, set Ash wins games sometimes. It does. So in specific situations where you see, all right, I'm about to lose to an SP, you're actually able to go surprise effect number 3 to bounce minion back. I had a duel. I don't think I commentated yet. It's such a crazy duel that... Oh, fuck. I might be able to find it, actually. I have it on my home computer, just there, a replay of it. Here's the situation. What happened? He had Nibiru. Okay, I was under Fualos, and I'm trying to OTK him. My Yummy minion is in the graveyard. I think he popped it in some way, shape, or form. He popped it. It's in the graveyard. So I put 4 monsters on the field, and he thinks he wins the game. He doesn't see an answer to me winning. But I'm playing as if Fualos is not a card. I got hit with Fua. I have just enough monsters. I think he had some way to, like, he Holly Suit or some shit after he Fua'd. I forgot the exact game state. But I couldn't clear a Holly Suit in defense. There's no way. I think I summoned a 5th monster, and then I just entered battle phase. He sat there for 1 minute thinking, okay, your highest attack monster 1600 attack. I only have 1 monster in the field. You can't surprise. Alright then. Sure. He lets me enter battle phase, knowing I cannot quick synchro on my turn. I have 1 card on the field. I can't let me surprise target bounce 1 back. I use the effect of Yummy Surprise in the battle phase to return a field spell from face up field or grave. It was in my graveyard. And then you can place a Yummy field spell from your hand to the field. I obliterated, genocided him. It was ridiculous. And then I placed it. Now all my shit gained 2500 attack, and I destroyed him. And then he revealed the nib in battle phase. I'm like, nice try, buddy. Killed him. It's going to be a whole YouTube video. I'll show you guys that later. That's going to be one of the replays that goes on. So use all 3 effects to Yummy Surprise. Another tip I want to say here. Again, maximize out and engage. 1-for-1 is the next best starter after Pure Erase. There's not these 17 you guys know damn well. The 9, the 17, this is the next best. If you want a bit more consistency, you don't want to open 1 starter. You want to open 2 or 3. Because then you play around more shit from the opponent. The amount of times I go second and I start with like one of the yummies and I save Obedience Schooled, bait my opponent into absolute oblivion, and then go Obedience Schooled, it's ridiculous. While I'm here, I want to put Link Spider in. Also, I think Starham is better than Metal Marcher. The reason why Starham is better than Metal Marcher is Metal Marcher does what, guys? Metal Marcher, well, they both kind of come up, but Metal Marcher brings out the tuner. A level 2 tuner and a level 3 does not fucking equal Herald. The idea of Starham or Marcher is to make Herald easier. I do think Marcher has its own way. Like, you could also remove some of the links. It's your call. But, and I'll probably play Metal Marcher. Metal Marcher I like for the play around Nibiru turn 1 play. Starham is a bit, I don't want to use the word win more, but it is a bit win more. Thanks, beating the fuck out of me of that buoy. Yeah, nice, let's go. Does using a Crocky instead of another copy of minion help if you get minion banished? I do think a Crocky is better than a second minion. A Crocky has its purposes. I'm gonna speak on a Crocky now. As you guys know, I'm the biggest hater of this card. As you guys know, right? Yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen how many times I've said a Crocky's dog shit. You know what? It probably is. That card comes in and out of my deck more than any other card in my deck. But the thing is, when you're building a deck, you obviously find non-necessary engine requirements to remove. Obviously, like I was the first person to remove TB11 from the deck. I told Pac to remove TB11 from our top 8 YCS Ecuador. All 3 of us played Malice. I convinced them to remove that, and I almost convinced them to remove MTP as well. And I would have preferred to. I'm a huge believer in removing non-required engine requirements. So this is the obvious non-requirement engine requirement. The reason I want to include it is, okay, the grind game thing is okay. It's a good reason to want to play it. Obviously, it helps in the grind game, but you don't get to the grind game. I'm not like, I've never, maybe twice in my 1,000 matches of Yummy by this point, have I got to a point where I needed the 2 field spells grind game to win the game. That shit's over well before that. But it's all 3 effects. It's the first effect to pop a card is nice because it could pop the Dragon Tail spells before they resolve. That's important because people think Draco Tail has a great matchup against us. We actually have a better matchup against them. It's the shitters that played Yummy that make people think that Draco Tail destroys Yummy. It's not true. When they set a card, you pop the shit with a Crocky. So this helps the matchup a lot. Next, this helps Vanquish Soul so much. The second secret effect is so good against Vanquish Soul because it triggers all their pops. And not many people know it, including this guy right there. You see that guy? He's a future Toronto GOAT at this game. Well, you guys can't see, but the Masterclass will. I got him with the second secret effect of this. It's very important to have that. Just one sec. I'm just going to mute everyone right now just so I'm the only one speaking just for until I unmute everyone later for questions. And the third effect is how it helps the grind game. You do need 2 field spells for that. Who's making noise? I thought I muted everyone. Oh, I missed someone. One sec, guys. I'm just manually muting everyone. You see, this is why I like Zoom more. I could just personally manually mute everyone. Am I a boomer for liking that more? Soundboard? Yeah, just that I'm remote right now in Montreal instead of my actual office. So Crocky's all 3 effects come up. I'll get to siding patterns a little bit later. I would side out a Crocky in matchups that I would side it out in matchups that you really need to see hand traps in. Absolutely. Next, I'm going to answer the quick... I know we said save questions for last, but while I see it, I'll just answer it anyways. Some people are starting to play Contact C. Have you ever considered playing Cross Sheep? So, Cross Sheep is the best card to play to take care of Contact C, but let's play some percentage games now. Will you ever summon Cross Sheep if you don't get Contact C? Never in a billion years. Will you ever summon Donner? Will you ever summon Donner without Contact C? All the time. I make Donner all the time. I made Azalea all the time when I used to have that in my deck. So I would prefer, yes. Who's making noise?
You made Donner with it.
Please mute yourself, guys. So, of course, Obedience Gold makes it so Cross Sheep, like you could do it under Obedience Gold. But if they want to, let's say you activate Obedience Gold. I activate Obedience Gold. And then they go into Contact C. Alright. Good for you, opponent. Congratulations, opponent. You were, first off, dumb enough to even play Contact C in your side deck. Secondly, I specifically opened obedient. You opened it, so to see a 3 of in 40 cards is, I think, 37% or some shit. And then on top of you, first off, even having it in your deck, secondly, even opening it, and thirdly, me even starting with opening obedience schooled, and fourthly, if you have obedience schooled and 3 other starters, you're using the other 3 starters, because there's a point of no return where it's like, obviously obedience is the best starter to use going first, but if I have 3 yummies in my hand, like, and I already have like obedience schooled is the best because it dodges every hand trap. But if you have 3 yummies in your hand, you already dodge the hand traps. You get what I'm saying? So obedience school is the best because it brings them out by 1 card. But if you already have 2 or 3 and a Hornet drones, there's no reason for it. It's a good discard after that. So it needs to hit all 4 stuff for Cross Sheep to be better than a Donner. Where, or SP is bad because it doesn't go downwards. Donner is able to just get rid of the Contact Seat, especially when you open a bunch. So if they activate Contact Seat and I have all these starters, by all means go for it. I will still pull a combo. So I do think it's better than Cross Sheep for that purpose. Gravity Collapse is bad. Do not play it. In fact, Solemn Judgment is also like, there's just not enough hand trap.
Everybody speak Spanish because it's like a mechanic.
Guys, can you please everyone please mute themselves?
Yes.
Please, guys, if you're joining, mute yourself just because for everyone to hear. Thank you. So the cards you want to side going first, Crossout is like, we actually have a very good matchup to Fualos. If we get hit with Fualos, we have a very good board versus Fualos. So I don't want to play Crossout because we're forced to now play shitter hand traps to make it good. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not gonna do that actually. Like, it's like Solemn. I don't even want to play traps. I'd rather thrust not thrust. I'd rather cards like Talent or Call by that actually stop the hand trap to make sure we can play. So that's just something to keep mind of. But Solemn is just the next best actual trap. Don't play Gravity Collapse forces us to play. So we don't need it. Oh, I just realized.
She has a lot of good hits.
And she had them too. She came on the Girl Meets World.
Did that work?
Yes.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, this whole time I'm literally a dumbass, guys. I muted four people that talked, but that just means that they're muted for me, but not for you guys. Yeah, server mute. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's so now we know Brandon's a good dude. That's a good dude. It's just so we could all hear. Okay. Lots of knowledge, as you guys see, have been dropped already. I'm gonna get to the Nibiru now. I mentioned it earlier. Nibiru, you can search it with Lina. Even Vanquish Soul sometimes could summon more than 5 times on your turn. Especially our deck. Our deck could summon 15 if we really wanted to. So it's just the win button in your deck. It's a win button in your deck. Make Lina. Use its effect if you want to get some plus, like to get Cupsy out or some shit. Enter battle, crash, because obviously all this shit will be in attack position because of minion. Search Nibiru. Activate Nibiru. There's no answer they could do. There's seriously no answer because they cannot tag out the Synchro 2s. They cannot tag out the Synchro 2s in damage step because that's when Lina triggers. And then they cannot even have an action because you have priority in main phase 2. So in main phase 2, you just drop the Nibiru. There's nothing they could do. They're all gone. Nibiru is better to even have in your turn than their turn because it'll always resolve. And then you just save your last extender and you utterly destroy them. Didn't you say in the spreadsheet that I can't get over the token? Yes. So now we have answers. So cards like Phantasme or Bestials, they're not high impact enough in the format to be worth negging a little bit to get rid of it. So we have no if we give them a token, let's say now that's for Nib going when we're going second as a search card. That's why the 1 Nib is there for the Lina. Also, Lina is actually very nice in the mirror. There will be times where you have no access to Cupsy and you just get a free Cupsy. This is after because Lina is 1850 attack and Lollipop is 1700. If they get rid of the field spell, Cookie is 1600. The shit is actually very important. Because a link 1, special, make Lina, enter battle, kill Cookie, like if they have the other field spell up, Cookie, and then Lina effect. Like, it does come up in the mirror. So the 1 Nibiru makes it so it's just worth it. But for the 3 Nibiru, which I still play against Yummy, here's why it's actually good. You will miss out. Like, if you're playing 3 Nibiru, you're going to have to side up 2 engage probably. It sucks because going second, there's not enough like stuff, but I'll explain what we side up going second. You're going to need to open a Yummy and a hand trap. You could easily normal Perilia, an extra charm, like normal and extra Charmy, make Almirage, make SP to banish a card that you know he'll chain. They'll, like, for example, GWC, they'll chain GWC, you chain SP to get rid of something else, and now your obedience or engage is live. So it won't be an easy out like in Ryzel where you just enter battle phase, because they're just gonna link spider right away. It's 1,000 attack. So you're gonna have to kind of normal summon and then do it. You could normal a Yummy, you could normal a Charmy. I've had a situation where I Nibiru'd, and I had obedience schooled, and I had engage, and I had no way to out the Nibiru. Yeah, you'll fucking cry when that happens. 100%. But it's just so high value that it's worth it. I'm just gonna have to mute you for a bit, Sherman Derp. Just for a little bit. Thank you. So yeah, that's the Nibiru. And as you guys saw, there's a lot of new information will change. And I'm like, dude, I'm like a 13-year-old chick that changes 8 times before a date when I build a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I change my deck every day. It's my duty as a Yu-Gi-Oh goat to practice and learn every day. I've been to 11 locals in 11 days. 2 days, like yesterday I didn't go to locals. But 11 days before that, I went to 11 straight locals. Do you guys have any idea how much knowledge comes from 11 straight locals? And no, I'm not missing the second herald. I removed it on purpose. Donner is our cross sheep out. Like, contact C out. It's better than cross sheep in my opinion. And we're going to need a Donner for Nibiru as well. So if you don't want to go, if you see a line to kill them, you don't need to go nib, summon something SP. Because if you use SP effect, you're not going to be able to kill them. Because you can't attack directly. Donner comes up a lot. So you can remove Donner if you want. Or add an extra synchro. I will leave it to you, your guys' choice and playstyle. If you want the second herald, you never force the herald. Like, herald should only be there. Okay, if you're going first and you don't get hit with obedience, if you open obedience gold, if you don't open obedience gold, sure, you'll have a herald, but you'll never need the second herald. It's extremely rare. You won't need it. Hand trap wise now, I'm gonna show you guys right now. This is a big one. Okay, guys, look at this. Look very closely. Look very closely. You're going second. This is what you remove against almost every deck. You're removing a cookie. You're removing a lollipop. You're removing a 1-for-1 because you want to use your hand traps. You always remove one surprise. And this right here, now it's your choice. If you're facing a deck that the second effect of the field spell will not come up, some decks do not trigger the second effect. It's a little bit tough. For those decks, you could remove this. Like if you need more hand traps, a Crocky is removable, Prosp is removable, and 1 engage is removable. Sometimes 2 if you want Nibiru. So if you really want, you could have something along the lines of this. Remove a 1 engage. Prosperity because you can't kill them. Sometimes keep a Crocky, sometimes no. This gives you 25-ish hand traps. And you can put in anything you want, depending on the matchup. Obviously, it could differ. So you just put your favorite hand traps, depending on the matchup. There's a plethora of choices. So even if you feel at the time to go this, it's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. I actually do go with vibe a lot of the time, because no deck list is the exact same. Someone's Vanquish Soul deck list, Vanquish Soul K9 deck list could be on every dark hand trap and every earth hand trap. They could be on Bell, Crow, Phantasme. They could side into more hand traps, 3 nib. They could play play 20 hand traps post side. So if that's the case, it might differ on how you want to build your deck. So there's options for the amount of hand traps you could play. So it's always the cards you side out. I'll put at the bottom. Always 1 cookie, 1 lollipop. Always 1 engage. Because keep in mind, going second, engage becomes worse with Purge and Nibiru. Just keep that in mind. Always a 1-for-1. And then it's your choice of always a surprise, always a second surprise. These 5 will always go. And if you look now, if you remove prosperity as well because you can't kill, that's 6 hand traps. That's 24 hand traps. And if you really want, it's your choice if you want to remove a crocky. So you could get down. If you're really scared, like against Malice, I remove all this. Against Malice, I have 26 hand traps. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't want Malice to do a single thing. If you're facing an FTK deck, feel free to put in all of them you want. This is still 12 great starters and a great extender. So if you really are scared, remove a crocky going second. Remove 2 engage because your Nibiru and Purge will have less value. 1-for-1 is a 2-card combo deck. You want to kill a lot of decks. So prosperity, like all these, feel free to. They're all removable. If you engage, I try not to remove at times, but remember, if you're putting in Nibiru, you're going to want to remove it. If you do, sometimes as well, some hand traps are bad against some matchups. So that also comes up. Just remember, guys, nothing is set in stone with our deck. Yummy, on our turn, it's a spreadsheet deck. On our turn. On the opponent's turn, it is the absolute opposite. It will change every time you're sequencing, depending if your opponent, if you recognize booking and going cookie synchro 2 fast as fuck against Yummy is genius because they could never obedience schooled or engage you. So against Yummy, you have to activate obedience schooled ASAP against Yummy. Remember how I said earlier you save obedience schooled for later on combos against other decks? Against Yummy, if you have obedience schooled, you have to actually activate it immediately, even if they have Herald. Just waste their Herald for it. The reason being is if they're smart, they'll cookie you immediately. That way, your obedience and your engage are dead. So keep that in mind. Why base siding? That's what I do. Because every deck will differ. Some decks are on Azuna, so that could also change with how you want to charm me. By the way, never Perulia or Fualos yourself in draw phase, because even for the decks, let's say you Perulia and draw phase against, let's say you're going first, and you Perulia or Fualos yourself on standby in case your opponent summons Holisu. That could trigger Azuna. So even though you might draw 1 or 2 cards off it, or it might trigger Azuna. Draco Tail also plays, some Draco Tail decks play Azuna as well. So if you're dropping Fualos in your standby phase against Draco Tail and they have 5 mana, sure, you'll draw 1 from the 5 mana, but you also might trigger Azuna. So don't do that. These are the bottom 8 cards of the cards you have a choice to remove. In my humble, best player in the universe opinion, you remove these 6. 3, 6. I would like to keep as much as of engages as humanly possible. Yeah, sure. I don't care if it conflicts with Nib because you'll have so many hand traps you can normal and remove with. But what this does is you have more special summons. Going second, your opponent will have Solemns. So if you're normal summoning us Yummy, you're getting fucked to warning on the Yummy. So you want a plethora of extenders. So this is 7 normals and 7 extenders. I would even remove a Crocky at times. A lot of times I remove a Crocky going second. This is different in simplified deck matchups. Let's say you face a shit deck like Blue Eyes. Keep both field spells, keep Prosperity. You're going to play some grind game. So that's different. So take a picture. Take a picture. These are the 7 I want you guys to side out. And whatever cards you feel like putting in. I request though, do not play Talents going second. Don't do it. This deck's playstyle is to stop your opponent from playing. Tell me how many decks you know that could play 25 hand traps and still have 13 crazy 1-card full combo starters. While 13 1-card starters going second, you have a 6th card. Plus, Fualos and Perulia will draw you more. 13 is a crazy amount of starters going second when you have a 6th extra card and you have Fualos and Perulia. It's like a 95% chance of playing. I would never Molcharmi. So what I mean by respect to Zuna is let me rephrase that. Never Fualos or Perulia on your own turn. At the beginning of the format, because people were scared of Holisu, they would Fualos and Perulia on their own draw phase. Because they'll go summon stuff so you could draw on your own turn. But because that triggers Azuna, don't do it on your turn. On their turn, you Fualos or Perulia immediately in standby. Even if it triggers Azuna on their turn, it doesn't matter. Make sure you Fualos Vanquish Soul in standby phase. Never, ever, ever Fualos in main phase when they have a monster up, because if you Fualos in standby and they ash you, they lost a very important attribute in fire. Make sure to do that. What if you just draw hand traps? So going second, you will have many hands like that. This is why I try to actually keep Engager Prosp if I can. Like, I will try to keep something like this sometimes, where it's like more starters, because sometimes you want 2 of them, and 24 hand traps. Which 24 hand traps is still a crazy number. I'm going to look at something like this, and if you see, there's always room for leeway. Even if you vibe sometime and you're like, you know what, their deck doesn't, Blue Eyes doesn't need that many hand traps. I'm going to put in the talents for Blue Eyes. Go for it. Vibe-based siding works, I'm telling you. I can't explain it, but when you feel good about your deck and you're like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. My ancestors told me to put in talents, I'm going to do it. One time against Draco Tail, I sided 3 Solemn Judgment going second because I fucking felt like it. I didn't draw it, so I don't know if it was good or not. Obviously, it's fucking ass. But, like, I literally go on vibe-based siding all the fucking time. I did that against Mermail one time. I didn't know Lancia was good against Mermail. I vibe-based randomly. I'm like, yo, wait a sec. I get Lancia, the card that banishes to look at my hand. I did it, and it was actually fucking crazy, and I did it moving forward. So feel free. And remember, hand traps are offensive. You could normal Almirage and combo. Veil is level 1. So hand traps are always offensive. Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom are level 3. You could make Herald with them. It's low-key pretty nice. That's just bricking though. It's not. So if you look at this, 3, 7, 10, 13, 14. The 6 Charmies offset themselves because they're going to draw at the very least 1 card. So even though you're playing such a high amount of hand traps, also, I don't like playing cards that you can only, with the exception of Ash or Purge because they're so high value. Typically, I don't like playing cards that are hard once per turn. Also, Nib might be better as a 2-of because it almost doesn't resolve. Like, you'll be stuck with a lot of Nibs multiple times, and Nib is not the best in this deck because it engages Obedience. You can feel free to play 2 if you want. So let's say you're playing these 24 hand traps. Well, these 14, you have 6 cards. I'm going to pull up my handy dandy hyper geometric calculator. You have 14 starters. Population size 40. 14 starters. You draw an extra card. Actually, the population size is not 40. It's 34. Because Perulia and Fualos, at the very least, will offset themselves. Like, at the very least, they'll draw 1. Even though they'll most likely draw fucking 3, you know? But at the very least, they'll draw 1. So they act as Upstart Goblin. They offset themselves. So in this deck you're looking at, I'm not capping right now. You have a 99%... Wait. You have a 97% chance to see a starter. 97! 97% chance to see a starter. Let's see what happens when you cut the... Fuck, I might need to even play more hand traps. Because your Fualos and Perulia offset themselves. And you have a 6th card. I just dropped it by 1 card.
I'm looking at 16 starters, and I'm getting a 96% chance.
Well, did
13 starters.
Did I put in the wrong math? Guys, math's not my strong suit. 100% of the time if you feel like it.
There we go, there we go.
Trif, I have a question.
Yes.
If you were to go Nib, then couldn't you just make Link Spider and then go Engage to for token and then synchro off?
We will have the Nib and they will have the token.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. But when we get Nib, that yes, 100%. So guys, if you see the hand trap, I used to play. If you guys saw the 6 Solemn list, the 6 Solemns are like, Solemn Judgment is way better because if you protect your board from like, obviously everyone knows board breakers are very rampant in the format. The Solemn Judgment is way better because it's the option to negate the summon, or if you really need to, negate a Regeki, or a droplet of them sending 3 cards and you laugh at them. Also, droplet's not real. Herald is literally on the field if you don't draw Obedience Gold. So what are they going to do? Herald, like, waste their normal summon, Herald, and then do it? Sure, you have no cards on the field. No problem. So they can't send a monster. And if they send 3 because of Herald's effect through droplet. So like, this is actually... And this version, unpopular to contrary belief, I don't know if that shit made sense. Everyone thinks Breakers beats hand traps. Everyone thinks Yummy Breakers better than Yummy hand trap. That's incorrect. Because if you breaker me, you're gonna waste 3 cards to clear my board. Sure, you're gonna have 1 dead card in your hand, and then you're gonna have 2 starters to face off against my Yummy Surprise is gonna bounce, and 3 hand traps of my own. Like, they could break my board, but they'll never win. So, hand traps is the safest way to do it. This is also why I'm taking Yummy Breaker to my regional tomorrow, because it gives me, like, I want to just get in the mind of all the shitters playing breakers and see what are they how does it look like when I'm facing off against Yummy hand trap and I have Yummy Breaker. This is the type of scientist I am, bro. I will build Draco Tail just to figure out the exact point of when I need to stop things. That's how deep I go of a scientist level. Dark Ruler too. Like, let's say they Dark Ruler and Regeki. All right, the whole board is gone. All right. Well, then we have 3 hand trap. They'll have another breaker in their hand that'll make their hand dead. Maybe 2, maybe a brick, and then 2 starters. They'll still always have 2 starters with the breakers. Then you're surprised when they normal summon their Yummy. You go surprise special Cupsy and defense. Cupsy and defense gets full combo even through Dark Ruler Regeki, as an example, or Dark Ruler Lightning Storm. Sorry, that was a bad example. Yeah, even Dark Ruler Lightning Storm, because they'll go Dark Ruler and then Lightning Storm, and then you just chain surprise to get Cupsy. So even then, you're playing around infinite breakers with this deck because it's very layered as well with the hand traps. But I will let you know everything I find of the deck. I hope that breakers are better. I would love that, because as hand traps right now, Yummy's the best deck of the format. Like 100% is the best deck of the format with hand traps. So if randomly I tell you guys, yo, after playing in 2 regionals with this, I think breaker is better, that just makes our deck even better, if that makes sense. I would love to be wrong. Sadly, I'm never wrong when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! But I wish I was, because if I was wrong here, we'll have an even better deck than I thought. So you're telling me I'm 10-0ing people at locals, and this deck could potentially 13-0 people? I'm super down. Like, I am super down to be wrong. I wish it was, because that makes our deck better. This gives way more options for us, and it makes it so we'll never lose to shit players. I'm sure you guys know that feeling. You're paired up with someone at regional. The guy sets a spell card before normal summoning. Like, you know those shitters? And you just look at your hand, and it's just like, bro, this guy's playing Malice so badly. Like, if I only had 2 hand traps against this guy, he'll put up a shit board. Like, you need hand traps against the shitters that play Malice, that play Rise of Mitsu. Even our deck. If I had a choice, my opponent is on hand traps or breakers. Even Yummy. I would rather my opponent on breakers. And isn't breakers supposed to destroy Yummy? It's false. It's not. I would rather my opponent on breakers than hand traps if I'm playing against... And this deck eats hand traps. Because you're going to end on Herald and layered interruptions. Also, if I know my opponent is on hand traps... Sorry, if I know my opponent's on breakers... Bro, I'm going to summon the most... I'm going to do the most heinous shit with Herald. This is where Double Herald comes up. Like, when I Double Herald and I know my opponent's on breakers because I witnessed many breakers game 1, I'll go out of my way to Double Herald turn 0 and I'll be like, go ahead, buddy. So that's where Double Herald could come up. Okay. Also, make sure to have a very... I don't want to side 6 traps. Talent and Cold Buy is better than more Solemns, because Talent and Cold Buy make sure that you're able to actually play more. Solemn, 3 Solemns enough. You're playing 4 Solemns. Prosperity is drawing a fucking Solemn, let me tell you. So you're good. So I would prefer to have a large variety of hand traps to make sure that no matter what, nothing's dead. For example, if I'm playing against Mitsurugi, I don't want to have fucking Nib in here. I want to make sure everything I have is very nice. To make, like, I'll always have 24 great hand traps against every single deck. Is playing 1 of each field spell better than 2 minion? Yes. It is. The versatility. I love versatility. The versatility of different hand traps, as you guys see here. And the versatility to be able to have all 3 effects of a Crocky and to have effects of minion is very good to have. It's very good. Sometimes the lose con of this deck is they banish field spell and you can't kill them. That's fine. I'd much rather that be the lose con than Lancia. At some point before the end of the to go double Herald implies we're gonna need a lot of starters. It'll never be one card 2 Herald, and the only time you'll go out of the like you'll need 2 or 3 of the starters. So I'll show you how to do that. I'd go double Herald, and I'd actually use Yummy Surprise on turn 0, and I'd go double Herald, and then I'd go Link 2 Onari to reset Surprise, and then in the draw phase I'll Yummy Surprise to bring on Cupsy on defense. They could, if that Dark Ruler, they could suck it, whatever. But it's playing around 2 Herald to stop breakers. Onari, I'll show you guys the line. My anti-Nibiru line is using Onari. I use Onari many times turn 0. It's such a really good card. Also, I prefer a Crocky over minion, a second minion, because you could also, guys, you guys have been to locals last few days. How long have your games been? My Mitsurugi matches, I would finish in my whole match would be done in 10 minutes. With this, people are like thinking, they're not too familiar with the cards yet. When you're synchroing on the opponent's turn, sometimes game 1s can be 30 minutes. You need a timed win con. So, because no Onari specifically says, if this card is destroyed, inflict 1500 damage, we're going to go out of our way to put up Yummy, a Crocky, synchros, 2 monsters, pop our own no Onari. Burn 1500, please. Nice deck. Later. So I like the versatility of it to be a little different of that. Only play 1 minion. I don't think 2 minions is even an option. It's either 1 minion or 1 minion and the other field spell. And like, I have won many games where they've banished my field spell and you still win. You just have to play the grind. You just have to fight. Like, you could do it. You could pop all their board, do 4,000 one turn, 4,000 next turn. You could do it. Just don't give up. You could even tribute Nibiru's for more attack if you have to. Line is 1850. Donner clears. You'll still have all the interrupts without minion. Like, your opponent will be getting popped by Cookie, will be getting booked by the other Cookie, will be getting popped by Donner, will have Herald to deal with. Like, there's still to deal with those cards, you know? So, you'll be able to pull it off in a grind. So it's not worth playing 2 at all. Droll is awful, guys. Droll, let's say we're facing Vanquish Soul, the deck that quote-unquote Droll's the best against. You have Ash and Droll. Normal Rosin. You're telling me you're going to allow Rosin to resolve? If you Droll the Rosin and save Ash, they officially have all 3 attributes and you already auto-lost the duel. You can't do it. The way to destroy that deck is you do not allow them to... You trade 1 for 1 with every one of their cards so they don't have the attributes. Even if I had Ash and Droll in hand, I would Ash the fuck out of that Rosin. That Rosin will never resolve. I will never allow Rosin to resolve. Ever. In fact, if I have Imperm and Valor, and they go normal Rosin, I'm Valoring and Imperming the fuck out of that. There's only 1 Caesar, and most lists are on 1 Borger. At most, they're on 2 Borger. Assad, how many Borger are you playing? 2. At most, they're on 2 Borger, but a lot of lists are playing 1. I'm playing 1 in my list. So if they're on 1 Borger, 1 Caesar, that's only 2 cards. If someone would set a fake spell in Malice, there's a chance they have MTP, sure. But the chance of them opening MTP, or TB11 if they played it in the past, is so minimal that you're just assuming that shit's a bluff. You have to Valor Imperm Rosin on summon if you don't have it. I try to make sure I always have a surprise to save the field spell. Main 2 and... Yes, that's another big one. You could always protect your field... Let's say their only win con is SP. You could always surprise, use effect number 3 to bounce it back. And be aware of SP at all times. That's another huge tip. If you're recognizing right now, okay, like, the opponent's plays are done. They have 1 card in hand. They have 2 shitter monsters. Keep in mind, they could link 1 attack, like link 1 Vanquish Soul, put the link 1 into rocks, the XYZ effect, pop something, and then SP, get rid of the field spell. We might have a few yummies. We'll never lose the grind game. So if that's the situation, save your surprise to bounce it back, or save your hand trap or protection card to stop it. Just keep in mind. Super Poly cooks our board. I disagree heavily. Oh, you're Mud Dragon. Okay, that's cool. Most of the time, if they Super Poly, they're gonna be forced to. They're gonna Super Poly into Garura anyways. But let them Super Poly. They're gonna be at 4 cards, and they still have to deal with a huge board. Keep in mind, our board is like it's not 2 monsters. It's like 4 or 5 with surprise set. So Mud Dragon's huge against our deck. This is why Phantasma is really good against our deck as well. Even if they draw one, like if you're chaining Snatchy to quick synchro and they just draw one, that still makes it so we can't target their cards without double targeting. So you're gonna have to double target sometimes. Don't play around super poly. Literally put up your exact same board. Just put up more monsters. You're gonna have so many interrupts and hand traps on surprise and shit like that they're gonna have no choice. I thought about playing Fucho and Zeus. The problem with Zeus is, let's say you normal Cupsy, effect get surprise, you're forced to then make a link one, to then special another, and then special another. Like it's the one level one you get turns into a link one, making it so you need three level ones, not two level ones, to get to Zeus. Sadly, so that's a problem. A big problem, actually, of Zeus. I thought about Zeus because if they get rid of your field spell and you have a Zeus for 2 interruptions, I'm down. You know? One sec, guys. One sec. I'm just server muting anyone not muted real quick. Technology. Hey guys. What's the world record for most Monster Energy drinks drank in 24 hours? Should I beat it?
However many you're drinking right now.
All right, I'm gonna beat it.
I saw a video where this guy drank like 10 of them. It was the non-zero calorie ones. He died.
What?
Trif's counting like his 9th one right now.
Or he didn't die, but he was like very close to it because like it wasn't even the caffeine. Like all the sugar like destroyed his.
Bro, I've
Yeah,
hit.
you can get heart palpitations. Be careful with that.
I've hit 4, like, for every day for 5 straight days, many times.
Don't worry, you're built different.
I
so,
am built
like,
different.
you know,
That's
they-
facts. That's
those
I've
facts.
guys are
drinking
not-
the 0-calorie ones.
So you're saying, don't drink the 0-calorie ones because those are the ones I drink.
No, you should. You should.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that would kill you in the 0-calorie ones is the caffeine. You're young and healthy. You'll be fine.
Yeah, 2 liters of Monster a day keeps the doctor away. Or it's probably the opposite.
Excuse me.
It's probably the opposite.
Trif,
Yes.
if you don't purges, what's a good substitute?
Good question. For those 11 locals I mentioned, of 11 straight days of going to 11 locals, I was borrowing Purge, so I didn't even have it. Now I own it. So I could answer that. I would say Valor. It's tough. It would just be to take the same hand traps that you're seeing and kind of inserting them. I loved Bell. I actually really love Bell as a card. It might be Bell. Because Bell is... I love hand traps that could be used on either turn properly and well. It does come up. Because keep in mind, if the opponent... There's a lot of small situations. Like, let's say... so many decks are playing Azuna right now. Tricotel decks could play it. K9 decks could play it, etc. Let's say they Wallace you and you Ash it. Well, you just turned on Azuna. So even though our deck doesn't turn on Azuna, we could get rank 5 on our turn many times if we Ash or Charmy. So having cards like Ghost Ogre or Ghost Spell to randomly like hit the Azuna so they actually can't pull off a thing is nice. It's actually nice to have. And Ghost Spell is one of the best cards against our deck. Because there's not many cards that stop the Synchro 2 tagouts and it wins the Synchro 2 tagout wars. But yeah, guys, I'll save some questions for later. I'm almost done with random stuff and tips. I hope you guys really took all this knowledge in because there's so much info I said here that if I never made any yummy videos, half of this knowledge that I feel should be obvious, it wouldn't be so obvious. How do you destroy Onari? You put it on field and you go. Now, this depends on time. Let's say time gets called on your turn. If time gets called on your turn and you have 2 starters, don't go for Yummy Minion, go for Yummy and Crocky. Or go for Yummy Minion and use Cupsy to search for Yummy and Crocky. People don't realize, it's another huge tip. Cupsy Yummy searches either field spell, not just surprise. It searches Yummy card, any of them. It doesn't search surprise only. So if you have a plethora of yummies already, or let's say you have a surprise, or you're just trying to go for game and you want 2 field spell, or let's say your snatchy got your first link 1 snatchy got impermed and you have nothing else to chain block it or quick synchro it, you could go Cupsy, and let's say you need to go let's say you're going second. My Cupsy Yummy has searched minion many times going second to OTK. Or in this scenario, let's say time gets called in your turn, Cupsy Yummy could search for the Yummy and Crocky, or Snatchy just set it, activate it. You make the link 2, you set the quick surprise, then you have a choice. Either you pop it with the Crocky to burn for 1500s, make sure a field spell's up, otherwise this won't resolve. This only resolves when a field spell's up. Or when you make it, you could Ghost Ogre it, or when you make it, you could Herald it. One or the other. If let's say there's 5 minutes and less, 3 minutes and less on your turn, you could a Crocky pop the link 2 on the opponent's turn as well. Keep that in mind. So if there's a few minutes left, obviously heralding your own card, you just lost 2 interrupts. You lost this setting quick surprise, and you lost your own herald. So don't do that. If time isn't called on your turn, don't do it. Only do that if time is called on your turn, because you don't need negates. So that's where a Crocky comes up as well. And I'm telling you, I play hella fast. No, this pops anything. You can target. Oh! I cheated. Guys, I cheated. This only pops opponent's cards. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Alright. I take back everything I said at Crocky about popping this. Oh my god. Good thing this is a masterclass, not a YouTube video. I'd be fucking banned right now. Holy shit. I'm so glad you guys said that. I had no fucking clue. Reading is hard, guys, even for a YCS champion. Okay, so cancel that. Maybe a Crocky leaves the deck now. Okay. Right.
Bro, can I add?
Yeah. Just speaking on that one thing, guys. So in that case, use Herald as the way to destroy it, or it's Azalea. Azalea might be in the deck over Donner now. It's a big enough reason. Deadass. No, Donner's better. Never mind. Because for Nibiru, you could draw like a Perulia and you wanted to get rid of it. So, okay. In that case, you can only kill them on our turn. We're going to Herald it and win. Herald is the way to do it. You make this. Make sure you actually use the effect that sets, like, make a Herald first, and then you go no Inari. That's how we burn in time. Yes, what was the question?
Can I use Droplet in the Hand Trap build?
I would not advise it. So I'll explain why. There's going to be many situations where you're going to draw Droplet, Ash, Purge. Please mute yourself, guys. You're going to have Ash, Droplet, Purge, 2 starters going second. And guys, please mute yourself. Okay, so there will be times where you have, like, let's say multiple hand traps, but if this one Droplet was a Ghost Ogre or a Ghost Spell, even a low value hand trap like that, or Veiler, it's the difference of the opponent playing and passing. So Droplet becomes redundant because we just wasted 3 cards in our hand to stop the opponent, and then we're left with like Droplet and 2 hand traps. That's why I hate mixing breakers and hand traps. They simply just pair horribly together. So when we're in decks with like 12 non-engine, I guess it could work. But we're playing a deck with 20 non-engine right here. So to mix it with hand traps just doesn't work. Anyone that says otherwise is wrong. So just stick to hand traps or breakers. Keep in mind, breakers is still a very, very, very good way to play the deck. So breakers, for example, this is a bit different. I like to use these traps as all these traps are breakers and hand traps. Kind of both. So in a breaker build, it's the opportunity to actually side out a lot of the hand traps for actual breakers. Something to keep in mind. But make that your own choice, which version you want to play. It's really hand trap or breakers. You have to kind of decide one. So I would not advise to play Droplet. I'm going to keep going down. 1000 MG plus is actually lethal, not a joke. Oh, fuck. I guess. I'll stick to pre-workout. Draco Tail chain blocking graveyard cards keeps fucking me. Oh my god. I know. Draco Tail chain blocking is a problem. I'll get to Draco Tail near the end of the video because that's super specific. But the way to do it is, okay, let's say they activate one of the spells that one of the spells that fuse, and you know it's coming. Like, you know they just activated the spell that fuses, so you know there's a potential of some chain block card. You gotta activate your link 1 quick synchro right away. Right away. Like, the second they activate the spell, chain snatchy. If you don't do that, you're gonna get fucked by the chain blocks. Because you need to actually have the synchro 2 resolve when you want it to. It's very difficult. It really is. So you just need to be smart with the matchup, and the only way to explain it is you actually need to play against it many times until you master it. It's not something I can teach. It's not something you can teach. You have to play and just understand it. It's not like a spreadsheet situation, because you don't know if they're going for the pop one. You don't know if they're going for the negate. You don't know if they're going for the pop spell. So you just have to be understanding of that. I prefer when they go first. I make Draco Tail go first all the time. Because when they go first, you're able to play around shit way easier. And all of your hand traps, and they're going to side more hand traps to stop you. And then your hand traps stop their interrupts. Ash, Purge, and Bell stop all the Draco Tail traps. Make them go first. They will make you go first too. They know that. They know how good of a matchup it is when they go second. Make them go first. You literally have 8 hand traps that stop their traps. Like, that alone is such a massive thing to have. Your Ash, Purge, and Bell literally stop the Draco Tail traps because they draw. That's a huge advantage. And on top of that, they're going to be siding out so much engine because they think they're going second for more hand traps. That's the play with Draco Tail. Post side, you make them go first. You destroy them. That deck is not as good as it seems. On top of that, they only have 7 real plays. They have their 6 spells and prosperity. Look how many hand traps you play. When they are playing low engine, they're going to normal summon their 1 starter, you're going to Veiler, they're going to pass. It's not as good of a deck as you think it is, and they're going to be stuck with Charmies in their hand. Make that deck go first all the time. Yeah, so to answer, no Purge. Purge and Perulia are the expensive hand traps. You don't need them. You literally don't need them. If you don't want to play Purge or Perulia, simply replace it with Veiler, Bell, and Nibiru. So you already have a stacked hand trap list. And then just add whatever extra hand traps you can. If you want to put in 2 Meow, I think Meows are inexpensive. If you want to put in DD Crow, I respect it. It's still a hand trap. Put Bell to 3, put Ogre to 3, main deck Veiler. Like, you could put any collection. Let's say you have 18 hand traps, right? So remove Perulia, remove Purge. Okay. Insert 2 Bell in the main. Insert 1 extra Nibiru. That's exactly what I would do. Make it so you play, just look at the list, guys, quick. Play 2 Bell, 2 Ogre, 2 Nibiru. And play 3 Veiler. You have your 18 hand traps. Now, if you don't have cherries, is 20 cents. Cherries is crazy against our deck, guys. You just, but Purge and Perulia are way more accessible versus everything else. So I would do something like, I would put Arthalon and I would put Rock probably. But the thing, it doesn't even hurt K9 too much. K9 VS, it doesn't hurt it too much. I wouldn't even put it in against K9 VS.
Is Rock better than Ripper?
Yeah, or
there's a few like
Warner could be good as well.
Vanquish,
Sorry, Godzilla. Just don't just want to mute everyone while I talk.
Right.
But Warner could be good as well because they could Winda you. I do not like the Winda deck at all. Sorry, I don't like Winda in the Draco Tail deck at all. It's so fucking win more and makes the deck even brickier. It's simply not necessary. It's like them playing Winda is so stupid to me. It's like if you resolve 5 mana, you already are so far ahead that if you're gonna have to need a Winda to win 2, your deck's fucking dog shit. If you need 5 mana and a Shaddoll, you know. So don't even worry about Winda, guys. But Mourner is a decent card as well. It almost is the equivalent of Veiler and Imperm, and you could use it on your turn as well. So just keep that in mind. There's so many budget alternatives, really an absurd amount of budget alternatives. Crow is good as well. And if you really want, yeah, that's it. But I'd rather cherries over Contact C. But if you cherries Drigotail Arthalon, that deck is fucking useless. As well as cherries Snatchy. We'll probably get cherries on our Snatchy. The way to play around it is you need to get minion to the graveyard or a Crocky to the graveyard. It's tough. Like you need to basically open Cup C. And you need to open, and then you need to get to Cup C. You need to get to Cup C Yummy, and then you need to get to. It's tough, bro. It's harder than it looks.
Isn't that the reason you play Star Am is to do the cherries line? The end.
Not necessarily. The disc they could help. It could help with cherries more, but cherries is so low of potential, just like Contact C, because it's just not as like it's a 5-deck format and it's tough to play a playset that's just for that. So it's a little tougher. Like I have yet to get hit by any of them, and I played more matches than you guys can imagine. But maybe you will once. I'll go over siding patterns again before it's done. Trif ban. He didn't even know he got banned. Ja. You can ogre your annoyance to the herald. Yep. I'm just gonna read all this stuff. I would not recommend thrust in the main, but if you want to remove solemn judgment for thrust, like put in blackout, I could see that. Because this allows it now for you to also, if you really want, put thrust in going second. Like that's a bit different. But again, if you're hand trapping your opponent 4 times, your thrust will sit in your hand because they'll have no hand trap. Like they won't even use a monster effect on you because you stopped them. This is the prosp. Now I'm gonna get the prosp targets. It's almost the same every time. If you're going first, and these are the 6 you remove going first. If you have no starter, if you have no starter, you remove these 6. You guys see that? If you have no starter, because you still need this. And this is the best card in your deck for grind game. So you'd prefer not to. Can everyone please mute themselves? Thank you. These are the 6. If you want to keep Metal Marcher for the line, like the anti-Nibiru line where you go Lollipop 2 level 1s, that's okay as well. In that scenario, you could remove this, but I'd feel very bad if this is not in your deck if you really need it. Now, let's say you already comboed. Like this happened a lot with Prosperity. Prosperity is, you have 17 more starters in the deck. You will combo plus the Prosperity. So, in that situation, it would be Kagari that gets the axe. You just comboed, you don't need the Kagari, that would get the axe. If you started with Hornet Drones and already used the Kagari, and you already have Herald, like let's say you use Obedience Schooled, then Marcher goes. But it'll be some combo of these, and if you really need to, you could remove this too. But it also depends if you're going second. I do try to keep SP. These are the 2 cards you like that kind of come up. If you've already comboed, and you don't need it, this is the ideal. And you pick one of these. Typically, you'd use either Kagari or Marcher. So you just pick which one. There's no right or wrong, I guess. I prefer no Onari. Gives a better grind. Ever combo and only banish 3 to grab a hand trap? Yeah, I've done that before. So, especially okay. Before when I was playing 6 Solemns, I would always banish 6 because to see a Solemn. But 3 is enough to see a hand trap because look at the deck of what I'm about to do. Okay, you start with this. You go through 3 of these. You probably open 1 random one. You always get a surprise. 1 field spell's gone. And you probably have a random starter in your hand as well. Alright. The rest of the deck is fucking hand traps. It's okay to banish 3 as well after you combo. But post side, I prefer to banish 6 because you're gonna see a crazy hand trap against the deck. Like, if I could get a Nibiru against a deck that is crazy against when you're going first, that's huge. A Solemn, a Lancia against Malice to just end the game. 3 after you combo's okay. But feel free to do 6. Like, having 1 on top is huge. On top of you're most likely gonna have 2 hand traps, full combo, and then you prosperity into a third. Sign me up, right? That's broken. So, another big thing, Nibiru combo. Imagine you're going first. We have Nibiru. It's a secret. They don't know we have Nibiru. We sided it going first because it's crazy against a lot of decks. And we're gonna just imagine you have full combo. It's gonna throw a bunch of random shit in the grave. Alright. They just went through a bunch of our interruptions. Most of their combos are done. Their setup is done. We obviously have the full grave here. This is a very important play I want you guys to see. Okay? This is very big. Why Nibiru is broken. Alright. They just activated an effect. They have 4 monsters on board. You chain Cupsy to bounce 2. And then you chain Nibiru. You destroy your opponent. So, what happens in this situation? Resolves backwards. Nibiru gives them a token of fucking 7,000 attack that you're going to put in defense. You destroy their whole board. Then Lollipop resolves, summoning back your 2 cards. Draw 1. And you can still book 2 later while having follow-up. Nibiru going first in this deck is insane because you get to chain your Synchro 2, so you resolve the Synchro 2 at Nibiru. Don't forget that play with Nibiru. Alright, it's about 2 hours into the class now. I have said everything I can think of involving small tips and tricks and 1-card combos and 2-card combos. I've answered many questions. I would like to now go one by one to each person and see if you guys have any questions specifically. So I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes right now. Yes, I am recording this for everyone to see afterwards. So we'll be going over everything again. You like to see that play? I'll re-show it. Yes, we went over siding earlier, but we'll just do all of it. You know what I think might be better? I will leave you guys all 5 minutes. You guys don't even type it. Don't even type the questions. I'm gonna go down one by one to each person. The only interaction left is what to do on the opponent's turn. Sadly, that really can't be taught. It's it's an innate part of the deck that if you just look at the logistics of going second, let's say, I will bring up we'll mention tricks though right now before we start. You guys know when Cupsy gets hand trapped, the Lollipop line where you have like Lollipop SP, field spell. This is like the mid combo where you get your Cupsy gets hand trapped and you don't have more stuff. Imagine a full graveyard. Never put Lollipop in defense. Always put the shit in attack. Because if you're only access to you always want your yummies in rotation. So if this isn't defense, it's 1200 defense. They could enter battlefield and kill this now way easier than 1700. So just keep that in mind. Another quick trick I'm going to say as many tricks I can going second because going second is the hardest stuff. Let's say your opponent summons Pankatops. This is one of our deck's big problems. I actually did this against Assad. I have a replay of it. It's actually a banger. So, we enter battle. Oh, another big one. Always have 2 Snatchy in rotation. You need 1 Snatchy on field, 1 Snatchy in grave at all times. And you want 2 when you start Synchro Summoning, you want 2 Snatchies on field at all times. Why? It's because you want to Synchro. You want one of the Snatchies to stay to continually Synchro. and you want to synchro with the Snatchy and something else to continually get the 2s out. Always get 2 Snatchies on the field at all times. So, a quick trick here. Your opponent summons a Pankratops. It's 2600 attack. Imagine your actual board. I don't know, whatever combination. Alright, your opponent enters a 2600 attack. Enter battle phase. Activate Yummy Surprise in battle phase. What's he gonna pop right now? Lollipop, we chain. We special Cookie. We use Cookie's effect to lower the Pankratops to 1600. Alright, what are you gonna do now? Even if it's SP, same thing. You wanna crash SP? Sure, you just lost Pankratops. You can't do anything. Lollipop's 2200, this is 26. Pankratops not as much of a problem as it seems. It's more so a problem for the Herald, but that doesn't matter. Because Herald's not even that important. All the 1-card combos are fully updated, perfect. The 1-card combos are all perfect. It's more so the 2-card combos that are changed, which I'll update on the spreadsheet. But this is a line for Pankratops. And yeah, the tip is utilize Yummy Surprise Cookie. They're going to try to enter battle with a bunch of shit. It could even be Fenrir, whatever. Even a random monster. Use Cookie to lower the attack so they can't do it. Also, the anti-Nibiru line, as I showed in the spread, guys, please unmute yourselves. Or mute yourselves, not unmute. Mute yourselves, everyone, please. Okay, so use the tricks. Next, let's say they enter battle with Pankratops. Sometimes you can even fucking let them kill the Lollipop. It does jack shit. Because then you could just, right after, you go surprise. You literally just resummon the Lollipop. Use surprise special summon effect. You do not need to go all of the pop. You have 8 total pops and books and shit like that in this deck. You don't need to use all of them to win the game. You could use 3 of them and you win the game sometimes. Use the special effect, because the special effect I use way more than the book effect. That might be why some of you guys are having problems. Is you want to resolve the first effect and second effect of all Synchro 2s on your opponent's turn. And you want to resolve both of these on your turn. And all 3 effects, first and second of all 3 on the opponent's turn. But you need 2 cards to bounce. Of course, I'm not mentioning to use the Pankratops. I'm not mentioning using surprise on Pankratops. They'll just resummon it back anyways. Use surprise to special. The second effect of Yummy Surprise is way better than the first effect. Seriously, the second effect is literally overrated. I use it for the second effect. I use it way more than the first effect by a landslide. It's not even close. If you don't have access to purges, use Bell, Nib, Valor, whatever you like. This deck can be played on a budget easily. This whole deck could be purchased for $150, and it's the best deck. It's crazy. All right, this is what I'm going to do now, guys. I'm going to give you guys all 5 minutes. Second Herald. Well, without a second Herald, you're going to have 1 pop from Makraki, 1 pop from Cookie, 2 bounces from Surprise, 2 books from Cookie, and an actual Herald. So this, and a shuffle, which if you want from Lollipop, I'm not going to count the Lollipop because it doesn't happen often, but it comes up, and a draw from Cupsy, which in this deck, that's drawing a hand trap. So that's 8 interruptions without a second Herald. If your deck needs 9 interruptions to stop your opponent, you are simply using your 8 interruptions very incorrectly. The second Herald is not necessary. Even a Crocky is not necessary. 6 interruptions or 5 interruptions will stop your opponent. 1,000,000,000%. On top of that, you also have 18 hand traps. You will never need the second Herald. Trust. Guys, please keep yourselves muted. Phantasme is not good for the mirror match because it puts a monster on our board. It's not good to put Nibiru is different because it's so high impact, and no one will play around Yummy playing Nibiru ever. No one is thinking about playing Nibiru and Yummy because it hurts us so bad. It's like a Sky Striker deck before all the Sky Striker extenders came out to play Nibiru. It shuts everything off. This deck cannot play Nib. It's ass. Just hurts you a lot. So they'll never expect it. That's why it's good. We're fucking with their heads. So I'm gonna leave this right now for you guys to think about more questions. Okay. You know what? I think it'll be better to text instead of typing. I want every single person right now. If you don't know how to do it, if you see training, you'll see a edit setting, a plus. You see something that says open chat. You guys see the open chat? Everyone click open chat right now and type in hi. Everyone go to open chat and just type anything. Just so I know you guys could use it. Good. Beautiful. Absolutely incredible. Okay, no more highs. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Now I know it works. Fuck Vec shit also. I'm gonna take a 3-minute break right now. I'm gonna go have a drink. Maybe I might take a piss. Maybe I might say hi to the front desk lady. Whatever. I'll be back. In the meantime, I want you guys to type in there every single question you can possibly think of. I don't care if the question is like, what beard oil do you use, Trif? Whatever question you guys have, write that down. Rather than because thinking about the logistics, now correct me if I'm wrong, if I unmute each person and ask questions, by the time we get there 50 people, we'll be here until 7 a.m., let alone 7 p.m. So ask every possible question you could think of, and I'm going to go by one, and we're going to get every single answer for all of them. There are so many good questions. Are there any outs to Liger? Yeah, scoop. Win game 3. We get fucked to Liger. I hate to admit it. I got the answer to Liger is we don't let them make it. Or Liger's 3,800 attack. We have to bait them into using Liger early, and then we drop a 4,000 attack cookie with 5 monsters. That's the out. But yeah, I'll answer every single question. So feel free, answer everything, speak amongst yourselves. I'm starting up at the very top at the questions. I will be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna stretch my legs, and then we're gonna go to part 2, which is answering every single question you guys can think of. And then in the second masterclass, which will be live from my studio, will be on Thursday, where we're gonna do a bunch of duels and I'm gonna host a tournament. I'm gonna do a very cool first place prize as well for the winner. All right, ask your questions. I'll be back in a few minutes. See you guys then. Good stuff so far.
What you got for it?
Before I go, guys, just important message. Pen best deck. How was it so far?
I fell asleep for like 10 minutes.
How's that possible? Without how much I was yelling.
I then like fell asleep, lights, no lights. I have control over my sleep.
Nice. Yeah, bro, the room was expensive.
How much you pay?
250, 230.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't care though. It's worth it. Cause that rather than like all the.
We could have stayed in the lobby.
It's okay. I'd rather it be good. Like, I want the high quality for this.
Is your internet okay?
Yeah, it's actually perfect.
Morna was another card in Yummy deck that Don was trying to use against Jacob.
What was it?
Because the Morna.
Oh, Warner.
Because he said you want to have more Veilers, and those are more Veilers, and also it's gonna play amazingly with Nib against mirror matches.
True. Not bad.
And also it could be a time card.
Yeah. There's a time card. Okay, I'll be back. I'm just going a bit of a walk.
I left you the thing over there.
Sorry?
I don't know if you like the chicken sticks and
Oh,
all that.
thank you, bro. This will be great. Thank you.
And there's a box full of things. It's snack box.
Only back 5 minutes.
कौन है ऐसे? गराज खुले अभी मोटर्स आए. हाँ. नहीं वो मुझे फ़ोन करके क्या देंगे बुला देना. नहीं हो रहा इसका. नहीं हो रहा. मैं बहुत परेशान की है. और मुझे भी क्लास से नहीं मुझे कौन सा फोन करना. तो कोई हो गया
Guess who's back? Let's go, boys. Okay, I'm gonna go down everything one by one. Where are we gonna start? Okay, I see there's about 70 messages, so I'm gonna start from the very top, go all the way to the very bottom. I'm gonna go super speed. Stay with me here. This is gonna be ultra hour. Let me just take a sip of Monster. Wonderful. Let's go. Is there updated versions of one-card combos? No. The spreadsheet has the perfect one-card combos. Two-card combos I will update according to what you have specifically. Next. If you don't have access to purges, what would you recommend? I recommend Veilers, Nibs, Bells. As you guys see the 7 over there after Lancia before Talents. Purlia and Purge are the most expensive. Make your choice of which 6 you'd like over in the place. Next, if you don't play Second Herald, yes, I mentioned if you don't play Second Herald, we do not need it. We already have like 8 interruptions. The Second Herald is win more and unnecessary. All right. How about evenly inside for VS? Only in Breaker version. In my Breaker version, I'm playing 3 evenly, 3 evenly inside, Duster, Lightning Storm in main. For everything, but if we're playing hand traps, we need to keep it at hand traps. Do not mix breakers and hand traps. It becomes redundant. You're gonna end up evenlying a board that has no board because we triple hand trap them or quadruple hand trap them. Their board will be so shit that going evenly after would be redundant because you're gonna evenly for nothing. There'll be no board to evenly, if that makes sense. Can you explain why you don't like Metatronus? I do not want to play cards that are like breakers. In a board breaker version, I could see Metatronus being not bad because having breakers that act as traps that you could set are still really good. So I don't like any Talents and Called By are not there for breaker purposes. They're there to stop hand traps going first. Those last 5 cards you see, the first 10 are hand traps. I don't want to put a single breaker. If I'd put a breaker in the deck, it would be Thrust because Thrust could serve as Obedience Schooled or Talents. But even then, I don't want to play it. If I make a deck with 9 interruptions, please stop. I'll beat this every time. My friend, let's go. So I don't have Purlia. Yes, Purlia and Purge. Replace Purlia and Purge with Veiler, Nib, Bell. And then in the side deck of those slots, because you still need some more slots there, you could put in a 3rd copy of Ogre or a 3rd copy of Bell. Or put in DD Crow. Or put in specific hand traps like Lancia specific for Malice. You could put in Contact C specific for Yummy. You could put in Retaliating C specific for Draco Tail, etc. What's the downside of playing? Shamizin is the worst one. Marcher is great because it's the anti-Nibiru line for the typical line where you summon 2 level 1s with Lollipop. But Ham is really good for on the opponent's turn to make sure there's 2 Herald, sometimes even the 1 Herald. But if I were to pick Ham or Marcher, it's Marcher. If you're gonna play 2 Herald, play a Ham as well. But definitely do not Marcher, Ham, and Herald. I saw Sako do that and I puked in my mouth. There's a reason I'm a YCS champion, he's a YCS topper. Haha, just kidding. I said that joke before, but no, Sako's my boy. Fuck Vank shit soul. Damn right. I have a lot of Blue Eyes Prime at my OTS. I haven't had an answer for them. Blue Eyes Primite is dog shit. If you want to destroy Blue Eyes Primite, there's a high chance the hand traps you're using are lower value against them. Feel free to play board breakers against Blue Eyes Primite. They cannot deal with that. In fact, they cannot deal with hand traps. However, they cannot deal with our deck. However, they can eat hand traps sometimes when they have multiple stuff. So hand traps aren't the best against Blue Eyes Primite. So again, if you have all the Blue Eyes Primite, switch to full breakers. My question is with the summon Lina and the line. I've seen this asked a few times here. When, let's say you know for a fact they cannot bounce your Lina. They cannot pop your Lina. Even if they pop Lina, you search, who cares? Like, they cannot bounce. They've already used surprise or you have 1 monster in the field. If you see that they have a monster that is over 1900 attack and you have an extender, literally just enter battle, and they've already summoned 5 times, because keep in mind, each tag out of the Link 2s are 2 summons. Marcher is a summon, Herald's a summon, like the Surprise is a summon. There's so many summons, and on top of that, the Synchro 2 summon, and on top of the tag outs, They can summon up to 12 times per turn. So if the Yummy opponent, when you're going second and you have a line to make Lina, like you could have 2 monsters that make Lina, a light and something else. If you see your opponent has summoned over 5 times, count always in your head, have a ticker in your head for your opponent's summons, and have a monster that's 1900 attack or higher, just enter battle phase and crash. Unless that monster that's 1900 or higher is something they could obviously synchro with in defense, like if that makes sense. Like most of the time it'll work. Just do it. Line up, crash, nib, blow their shit up. In a mirror, if you open with all engine or mostly engine and they open obedience, do you just scoop? No. Never, ever, ever, ever scoop. Even if you have 5 Yummy cards, never scoop. It's never over in Yummy. If your opponent does their interruptions incorrectly, even if they do it correctly, all you need to be in the game is if you could have either an obedience resolve, you're always in the game. If you could put a Yummy, if 2 Yummies are on board, you're in the game. It's similar to Malice going Bestial Magnema on White Binder. Fucking GG, you're always in it. You're always in it. Even against 6 interrupts, you'd be in it. Never scoop with this deck. Because the second Snatchy is there with a Link 1 and a level 1, you're able to level, like, a quick synchro and play it, tag out and shit, and resolve all your shit so easily. If that makes sense. So never, ever, ever scoop. Once you have your Synchro 2 on board, you're tagging out of every interruption. Never scoop. But there's a problem with that. You're going to feel bad. You're going to look at your noob opponent combo for 10 minutes, and you're like, fuck, like, I just want, like, you know, don't feel bad. Play it out always. The Yummy budget deck. I haven't created it officially, but I'll do it right now. I will create Yummy budget right now. I think Flawless is $20. It's so good that you guys, like, you just have to get it. It's gonna be a staple forever. So I'm gonna remove Perulia and Purge. Everything else that I'm looking at is very affordable. How much is Engage? Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage price. It's the only one that doesn't come from the new set. $10? Wasn't this shit $5? Alright. Whatever. There you go. Still gonna want to see a few more. Alright. You'll play Engage at 2. Because it's $10. If you have 3, play 3. Play 2 Nib, 2 Ogre, 2 Bell, 3 Veiler. Boom. Something along, fuck cherries. Play Contact. And I'm only doing this because lack of more hand traps. Something along these lines. Give or take. 18 hand traps. Now you could put in DD Crow if you want, but this is hella budget. You can get this deck for literally $150. Everything you're seeing here, $150. And if you want more hand traps, you can do that too. You can substitute these. DD Crow is not the worst card in the world versus many decks. Put 3 Ogre, 3 Nibiru. Let's go with the 3Os. Bell. Boom. Congratulations. You have the best deck. And putting Fury Raise map just substitutes, so you still have all the starters of before without playing too many engages. How much is a deck? $150 Canadian. You're welcome. You now have a tier 1 deck for 150 bucks. How do you summon Herald during the opponent's turn? Wait, hold on. I missed one. Pop True Light. Oh, that's a big one. When you're playing Blue Eyes, pop the True Light with the field spell. GG. Later. Best side for Vanquish Soul. In our version of this, even though even though Bell is like it's not fully useless. It's not the greatest. I always Veiler the normal summon Vanquish Soul. There's only typically one Borger, one Caesar. They won't fucking have it. Yeah, I'd put in something along the lines of this. This is Vanquish Soul. And keep in mind, I'm a different level Yu-Gi-Oh player, guys. I just go with the vibe a lot of times. So sometimes this even differs a bit. Sometimes I'll even look at my opponent and say, I don't need to side against you just to fuck with his head. Something like this. Of course, it depends. So Talents going second is live many times, even through hand traps. They'll always have a rock, you know? So you can put that if you want. Like, every other card's really good against them. All these 23 are high value, and you have so many to non-engine. Always keep a Crocky against Vanquish Soul, because every one of the interrupts, it'll trigger. How do you summon Herald during an opponent's turn? You're going to want to use Lollipop effect. When you're going to summon Herald, you never summon it. You never summon Herald on the opponent's turn right away. Say, like, guys, Herald is just because it's a negate doesn't matter. You have so many interrupts. Use all your interrupts first. Try to get like, you should have a lot of these in your grave and shit. Try to trigger like all their second effects to tag out to get free bodies. And then when you use this on summon to get a 1 and a 1, and you've already used the tag out effect of Lollipop, then your Snatchy that's on board will after this is how I like to make the Herald. Once typically Lollipop tags out already, so the tag is already done. But on the opponent's turn, as like my 4th, 5th synchro I summon will be Lollipop. It'll summon 2 level 1s, and then I've already tagged out Lollipop because it was in my graveyard or it ended my turn on the field. Then I'll just turn these into Herald. Or if you haven't used March, or I'd use Marcher, summon the Lollipop, summon the Cupsy or Lollipop, whatever's in the grave, and then with the other level 1 make the Herald, and then you have 2 monsters if you really need for a surprise. So I like to go Herald and Surprise as my last 2 interruptions, and you're always gonna have follow up, so you don't give a fuck if you have to bounce back Lollipop that's been used in a Snatchy. You could still just do this, and they'll have like their last 2 interruptions get checked by Herald and Surprise. Their last 2 actual plays. Thoughts on Judgment versus Warning and Meltronis. Also, way to play through Winda and Iron. Winda is so minor. Don't even think about Winda, guys. Winda is such a shit card in Draco Tail that no one will play it soon. It's only plebs are playing it. It's not a good card in the deck. It's so shit. It's dog shit. It's like you already should be winning the game if Imena resolves. Like, you're so high in advantage. So to pray that you have Shadal, at that point, they need to play max out every Draco Tail. It's very bad. It's not good. But if you're very scared of it, play Ghost Mourner. If, let's say, your locals plays it, for example. Thoughts on Adventure. Adventure is actually very good in the deck, but it's not bad. Remember before you started live, you talk about Hyper Librarian. Was that just a troll? Alright, you guys ready for this? I don't know where I have it. I have it in one of my menus. Oh, there it is. My secret sauce. That's right. That's right. I changed the game, gents. I will be taking this to an event eventually, but it hasn't been. Ew, bruh. This is full combo times 10, but I don't want to even look at that hand, bro. 2 field spells. Okay, let's go. Just gonna give you a random example here. This is an interesting one. When you have 2 yummies, do you waste your Ghost Ogre? That's actually an interesting one. Because of surprise, I'll save it. We have not used any special summons yet. because we normal the cookie. Typically, you wait for, in our normal line, this is more complicated, so I didn't show this yet. You go into the link 1, and then you special cup C in case they hand trap it. You want them to hand trap the cup C actually right now, if possible, just so you could get your actual plays to resolve. But if they don't, who gives a fuck? You win the game anyways. In this game state, you turn the level 1 and the level 2 into our good friend Goyo Defender. You're going to Goyo Defender again. You're going to Goyo Defender again. Anything. They'll never even expect Bamboozling Shadow. Then you go Bamboozling Shadow. Next, you're going to activate your surprise that you just searched. Next, you're going to special your monster. You're protected from Nibiru. You're going to special your other monster. You're going to put these into Librarian. You have your Nibiru protection already. Going to go into your Snatchy. Going to go into Lollipop. You're going to draw 1 card. And special 2. Sadly, the deck is too tight for also playing Metal Marcher. At this point, you have a few options. You could even make an SP on top. You could even make a Herald to draw again. You could even make a Cookie if you want to get another free draw. There's so many lines here. What I like to do is... Okay, I know you guys might think this is stupid, but it's not. You draw again. You literally waste it for this. You set your surprise with all 3 synchros engraved. You just drew twice. How many draws? Two draws. You set your interrupts you have. You pass in the draw phase. You take the highest defense monster. And on the opponent's turn, when you start putting shit back, you're going to end up drawing 4 times on their turn. When you hard summon each of these 3 synchros again. And with your last play being a Herald. So on the opponent's turn, you draw 4. You drew 2 on your turn. That's draw 6. You will draw off Bamboozling because you'll negate a monster in each player draws. So this is the draw 7 combo for the deck. Am I a genius? Yes. And you have as many negates, or you have as many interruptions as normal, plus a free Bamboozling, plus a free draw 7. Are there any way to recur Yummy Surprise in the grind game when you use both? Yes. The link 2. As I just showed there. If this card is Link Summon, set a quick play spell from your grave. Would you prefer a turn on board with SP and without Herald? In which it could be. Herald is only... I would prefer to make the Herald on the opponent's turn because whether you go Herald right away or on like the 6th action, it's still a Herald. It's a free negate on top of your 10 interrupts, right? So it doesn't matter when you do it, it'll negate something. If you negate the 5th card or the 2nd card, it's the same shit. Would you swap Thrust and Main in the hand trap version for the 2 Ogres? Ghost Ogre is very good. I would highly recommend playing Ghost Ogre in the main deck. Ghost Ogre and Ghost Bell and even Ghost Mourner, these are some of the only hand traps, all the Ghost cards, and Ash Blossom and Imperm that could be used on either player's turn as interruptions. This is very good. Play United We Stand. You're ahead of the game. I think we should. How to play around Shifter DDG. I'll tell you guys right now how to play around Shifter DDG. You OTK their ass. There's no answer. If you get shifted, you will not put up interruptions. You will lose. Your interruptions through shifter is nothing. You literally have like you could cookie them. That's it. Like there's no like because all the shit goes to grave. You can't tag out. So goodbye to Herald. Goodbye to all the specials and draws and pop of cookie. Your only interruption is book 2. So you better kill them. If you can't kill them, your only interruption is literally cookie and whatever non-engine you can conjure up. The book 2 or non-engine. So you just kill them. That's how. How to out the Draco Tail Floodgate that banish every starter if they special. That's a fake floodgate. It doesn't actually do that. You could do so much ways to out it. That's a fake floodgate. It's not a real floodgate. SP 1,000 ways. Do you ever ask Charmies on your turn or do not instead of Izuna? Always ask Charmies on your turn. Let them Izuna. It's fine. They'll steal one card from you, but you're gonna have so much push that you'll still do it. It's okay. Like let them. You still have to ask it, even if they Izuna, which is unfortunate because that's the only way they get Izuna, but you still have to. What should you do against Dynamorphia? Sorry. What do you think about the hand trap version of the... but yeah, to answer the question, what should you do against Dynamorphia? Win. What do you think about the hand trap version of the deck, but with 3 Dark Rulers in main? Awful. If you're going to play Dark Ruler, it has to be with Breakers. Dark Ruler is a great card. 100%. In fact, you could main deck it in Breakers. I don't play Dark Ruler in my Breaker version. I probably should. It's a great card. At least in the side deck somewhere. But you don't need it. You actually don't need it at all. And if you're playing Dark Ruler with hand traps, it makes your hand traps useless. So it's like we just wasted 3 cards in our grind card advantage game, which is all Yu-Gi-Oh's a card advantage game. If we spend 3 cards to stop them from playing, and then we Dark Ruler to stop their 1 interruption, it makes it so we lose it for nothing. My biggest fear now is getting Nib does nothing, guys. Nib against us is like the spreadsheet. I hope you guys have seen the spreadsheet. I spent a lot of time on it. It destroys the wrong one. Hold on. I don't even have access to my own spreadsheet in my on my laptop. I had to pull it up from my email. But the spreadsheet shows specifically how to play around Nib, and I'll show again. You know what? I'll show you right now. Contact C, you just make Donner and continue. If we're Beast Lock, the potential of them. Okay, so let's say first off, you lose the dice roll. Sorry, hold on. Let me repeat that. One of the game's 2s or 3s. So in one game of the match, they could hit you with Contact C. If they even have Contact C, which is in 25% of people's side decks. So first off, you have to be specifically going second. You have to specifically play Contact C in your deck, which is only 25% of people do that. 50% of the time when you go second. In the 30% of the time they actually open the Contact C, so we're talking about a 25% times a 50% times a 33%. Then they need to do it specifically when you open Obedience School, which is another 33%. So now we're times 25% on 50% times 25 times 25. That's the only time it'll hurt when in a 0.1% situation. But if the Obedience School, when you have all your multiple starters, which you will, you just Donner and it does nothing. And the way to play around Nibiru is you save Cookie at the end. Alright, let me show you how to play around. Let's say we Obedience Schooled. One sec. Please unmute yourself, guys. Or please mute yourself, everyone.
It's showing us the line around mid.
Gotta learn it.
Agreed. I'm just going to mute everyone, by the way. I'm going to show you guys the line now. There's 1,000 lines around Nib. But I'm going to show you the best one. No one is even... Look, guys, look at this hand. A lot of yummies, right? You fucking normal Fua, gents. Actually, this one's weirder. You actually normal Cookie in this one. The reason why you normal Cookie is because you literally have 2 Cookie. So that's the one different. Like, let's say this is a normal hand like this. You're normaling the Fua 1,000,000,000% of the time, just so you guys are aware. Oh, wait, this was the Obedience School line when you're Beast Locked. Let me pull this shit up. Every line plays around Nib, guys. Every line. Alright, Obedience School. You summon your 3 yummies from deck. Very standard. Now, if you want, you could summon Cupsy out. One sec. Or you could just use the field spell early. Doesn't matter. We have Cookie and Lollipop. We have summoned... So obviously this depends on what you have in your hand. You always save a Cookie in your hand at all times. But if possible, make it seem like you don't have it. Like in this specific situation of my hand, I haven't specialed any of these 3. So I'm going to discard an extra card. I'm discarding this cookie because of the hand. However, don't discard the cookie you just added. You specifically need the 2 cards. Now you could do this 1,000 ways. Summon. Add. Summon. Pass. Wait, hold on. Make sure you get rid of all your ones that were obedience gold. Set. Pass. Nibiru. No, Nibiru. Oh my god, so sad. Wow, we lose the game. But we don't. Activate surprise. Specifically special the 2200 defense. Specifically. You have a monster on field. You summon the cookie. You literally don't even need to activate these 2 Lollipop and Cupsy. Literally just don't need to. The token is a light. This is why I never played Link Spider to begin with. This is just a better line. You summon you use cookie to lower Nib's attack to 2000. Use this to set this, and you just won the game. Their Nib is at 2000 attack, right? You're beast locked. You don't need Link Spider. That card's like what? It's just for the Kagari token that it comes up. Never for Nib, ever. You would never use the Link Spider for Nib. Unless, like, it's with the token, the Kagari token. You set this. Their Nib's at 2000 attack. What's Nib doing right now? You don't even need to special these. These are extra. Because it's in the hand, I'll special them anyways. This was the only extra card we added. You don't even need it. But if you want for extra shit, why not? You don't even need it. This alone is 1,000 interrupts. If the opponent enters battle phase, Cupsy's at 2200 defense. Nib does nothing. That's why you must save the cookie. And because the token is light, it says 2 light monsters plus a beast. And you get back the surprise, the extender surprise you use, you get back for free. Your opponent's first action. So, like, you do have 1 extra card that you searched, if you remember. The 1 extra card that you searched from Cupsy, you're going to special just the 1. Save the Lollipop follow-up, whatever. So you're going to summon 1 of this. One of this. Then you just win. You could, you do all your synchro stuff afterwards. This is full combo times 1,000. And then later in the turn, after you use this effect to bring more shit out, always have 2 Link 1s in rotation. Always. You're going to resolve Cookie and Cupsy every time going second from the main deck. Always have 2 Link 1s in rotation. Because after they use effect, let's say they have another monster now that you could book Nib and the thing. Or let's say they enter battle phase with Nib and another monster. Let them declare an attack with Nib. Don't just like, they have 2000 attack, they're stupid when enter battle. Sure. Enter battle phase, they attack with Nib. Okay. It just declared an attack, so it can never change battle position for the rest of the turn. After it declares an attack, you activate this because the attack has been declared. So there'll be a replay. But since the attack is declared, once you cookie it, they set both the whatever monster they summon or just the Nib. They can't reflip the Nib because they just declared an attack. And now, you're going to keep going. The next action, you will never link this shit off. You're saving these for after. Use the cookie. Use Cupsy to get your draw. At this point, you get the field spell. Go Chainlink 1 Cupsy, Chainlink 2 put the field spell. This is just an example of we get Nib through obedience. Use it to draw a potential hand trap. Cool, I don't care who else is just there. Now, if you're noticing, there's always 1 Link 1 that's chilling. That Link 1 can never hit the grave because the last Link 1 hits the grave when you're done synchro summoning. I'm not fucking close to finishing. You go Lollipop summon 2. Look at this shit. Effect again. Does it look like we care about obedience? Like the beast lock is irrelevant. Literally irrelevant. Does nothing. Again, another 100. And now, on your opponent's next play, your last synchro summon, get your follow-up. We'll chain the bounce. Whenever you're ready to get your last follow-up, use effect a quick, use surprise, chain snatchy, so you get a free bounce, and your opponent's never gonna beat this shit. And your last synchro 2 effect of the turn is gonna add you your follow-up, and you win the game. I'm insane, I know. Next, so that's why the biggest fear of Nib through Obedience Gold is no problem, and I already debunked Contact C. My locals is 4 Dynamorphia players. What the hell? Uni Dragons, you gotta tell your locals to play real decks, bro. That's not real testing. This is why, on this locals, everyone watching this masterclass, there is a $50 a month coaching membership I do. I know it could be expensive, but my intention is to have a weekly locals and a weekly masterclass on an update on the meta every week, forever, of someone who's on the coaching Discord. The locals is a huge thing. My Toronto locals, we have 50 different tournaments in 7 days. I showed Red Gator, who's in the chat right now. He could attest to this. I showed him. We have a sheet, a Google sheet that color coordinates every locals in Toronto by which town they're from and how often they are per day or per week. Monday has 3 tournaments, Tuesday has 4, Wednesday has over 9, Thursday has 7, and we go to locals every fucking day. And Toronto has the best players in the world. Other places don't have that. You guys don't have like 50 locals a week. Like, guys, 50 OTS, official Yu-Gi-Oh! OTS locals a week. Like, it's ridiculous. There's a reason why. I'm going to start naming names. Team Summer X1, Trif Gaming, Milano, Kevin Distant Coder, Ryan Ruggles, Ryan Yu, Gabe Vargas. Hold on. I'm going to tell you guys Steve Santoli, Jesse Cotton, Dale Bolito, Lazaro Bolito, Bo Tang, Gabe, like, it just keeps going. Matt Van Hoovel with 20 tops is not even the top 10 I just said there. Like, there's a crazy amount of high-level players. And then there's 20 more that you guys have never heard of. Like, for example, Assad Farouk, who's going to have 200 tops one day, right?
Yeah.
There's an absurd amount.
James Kim.
It goes on. So that happens because we have 50 locals a week, literally. So I would like to kind of recreate that for us here, where if we do a 16-player local, high level, no noobs allowed, sorry, you can watch, no problem, but the 16 high-level players play for high-level training. My Discord, you guys want to know how I train to get better? Christian Urena, Cam Neal, Jib, Pac, Mario D'Amico. These are some of the best players in the world. Obviously, I'll get better by playing with them, vice versa with them. You need high-level training to get very good at this game. And it pays off quickly. Because you win one local, you get a box. You win a YCS, you win a YCS. My YCS overall pricing was about $15,000 worth. An extra $15,000 if we include all of because I have a YouTube. You get it back. There's a lot of money that can be made in the game. So what I was going with that is if you guys want to sign up for the coaching membership on this Discord, do so. There will be weekly tournaments where you guys get high-level training. I would recommend it. Where you won't play 4 Dynamorphia players at locals, you will get better. When you place the Croaky Field spell at the very end, or when you see you could pop a high-level card. For example, if Draco Tail sets... Draco Tail wants to set Retu or one of their spells, pop the fuck out of that immediately if you could. When you see a high chance to pop a single card, do it. Or against Blue Eyes, when you see a good time, pop the trap. Later, that deck loses immediately. Next, what's your exact siding patterns for the main 3 decks? I went over it. I literally just vibe. I went over it earlier. You'll choose the 5 cards you remove is 1 Cookie, 1 Lollipop, 1 Engage, 1 Surprise, 1 1-for-1. Sometimes a Crocky, sometimes Prosp. Prosp, you can't kill them, but a Crocky is obviously a high-level card. So you just make your decision, and then you put in whatever 6 hand traps you feel like it. I literally differ it all the time. Sometimes I keep each. If you remove a Crocky, put Prosperity, you put in your 6 favorite hand traps. Now, it differs a little bit. Against Draco Tail, Nib and Ogre are obviously dog shit. So you're gonna recognize right now there's 4 cards missing. I just put back Perulia too. I keep some like this. It's different. Like you gotta like I vibe. What kind of Draco Tail are they playing? Are they playing Winda version? Are they playing hand trap version? Can I play more low to the ground? I've played before. I vibed one time. Like I'm throwing Solemn Judgment going second against Draco Tail. I literally vibe. I put back more of the extenders, etc. Shit like that. Like it always changes because you don't know what style of deck your opponent's on. So if it's Draco Tail, sometimes I do this. I vibe. That's why it's better to have like an understanding versus a guarantee. Against Malice, I put in every hand trap known to mankind. It's so easy. Just look at it like that. You remove Cookie, you remove Lollipop, remove 1 engage, 1 surprise always, 1 for 1 because you need the cards you can't discard, and decide field spell or prosp. Let's just say it's field spell, a Crocky. All right, put it whenever 6 you want. If you know Nibiru's dog shit against it, remove it. And there's so much options. So that's why I like the options in the extra deck or the side deck. There's a plethora of hand traps, even Talents and Cold Buy. I put Talents and Cold Buy going second against Mitsurugi because when they tried to go, you could call by the Murakumo and they're crying. So, guys, please mute. So. Okay, there we go. I think at this point I might mute everyone at this point. So it's always you're vibing, so you kind of understand what's going on. But when you understand those siding patterns of 1 Cookie, 1 Lollipop, remember those names. That's the important name, not which non-engine. I'm sure you guys could think for yourself. Nibiru is not good against Draco Tail. They summon 2 times a turn. You know, like that should go without saying. But the engine, remove more engine going second because you have a 6 card and you have Charmies to draw into it. So 1/1, 1 Cookie, 1 Lollipop always, 1 surprise always, 1 for 1 always, 1 engage always, 1 a Crocky always. But against Vanguard Soul, I keep a Crocky because there are many interrupts, you get a free card from it. So typically, this is what you're looking at. And you just choose your favorite 6 non-engine to put in. But if Nib or Ogre is dead against it, you again change alternatively. Very simple, but actually vibe. If you feel like removing, if one game you open no starters, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm not removing them. Just fuck it, go with your gut. Trust me. You got to believe with all your heart with the side decking. What do you do in Context C? Not in your turn, but in their turn. When you said, wow, that's interesting. I've never had that happen before. You simply double it and pass it to the next person. That's what you do. Have you tried Metaltronus? I think Metaltronus is great in breakers. I don't want to play Metaltronus in hand traps. I'd rather every non-engine in my hand traps. Is thoughts on Primite engine? I think Primite is a very good full combo yummy, and it's not bad, but this is just better. What do you do against Power Filter? Don't worry. What would you do if a Brazilian supermodel from the volleyball team enters your door right now as we speak? I don't know. But it won't matter because it'll never happen. Same thing for Power Filter. It'll never happen. Don't worry about it. Siding pattern for Yummy. I just went over that. Vibe, my friend. Vibe. But remove those 6 I mentioned. That's it. That's the math. Remove the 6, add 6. You have 24 hand traps. Whatever 24 non-engine you like, I will let you make that decision based on the opponent's build. Is there any way to... Oh, I went over the... to get Yummy surprise. I think I went up a bit. 1 sec. Is Veiler truly necessary? Veiler is very low impact. But what Veiler... And I removed Veiler in the Mitsurugi format because I wanted to stop Prayers and Habakiri. Veiler, yes, it is low impact. But Veiler paired with other hand traps always comes up. And even though Veiler's low impact, it can go in every matchup, at least have some value. If that makes sense. So due to the reason that Veiler could always have value against everything, it's good to have in the side deck. You'll be surprised. Like Veiler is high impact against Draco Tail. Very high impact. It's high impact versus Vanquish Soul. So that's two of the biggest decks in the format that they're very high impact. Against Yummy, you have to, if they start Obedience Schooled, good luck with your Veiler. That shit's gonna do nothing. If they start with Kagari, Veiler could end the turn on Cupsy. Or if they start with the Yummy, you simply Veiler the Link 1 that they start with. Or if they start with Cupsy, you Veiler. So Veiler is only bad against Yummy if it's Obedience School is the start. Other than that, Veiler is high impact against all the rest. Because you're substituting the Veiler for an interruption on your turn. So even though it seems low, it's good. But obviously, if you're Veilering when they have 3 bodies up, Veiler will be useless. What's the right order using interaction with Yummy Mirror when we're going first? Book the first card you see. Cookie the first card you see. If you could book the first action, Obedience Schooled and Engage are shut off for the rest of the turn. Book a Moon the first action immediately. And then have fun after that. In which cases do you go for Link Spider versus Nibiru? Never. Onari Link 2 is the line. Anytime you think you're going to go Link Spider, instead of going Link Spider, use the Quick Play spell to special and use the token to make Onari with the Cookie in hand. Cookie will lower Nibiru to 2,000 attack, which is vital because in Nibiru's 3,000 attack, you can kill Cupsy Synchro too. So then you link with the token and the Cookie from hand to Onari, set the surprise. What do we use Donner for? Because there's 3 Nibirus post side, I want to be able to normal summon a Perulia and get rid of the Nibiru to Donner, because Donner would destroy itself and an opponent's monster, which would then make your Obedience School live or engage. The Perulia. Sometimes people used to. Just give me 1 second, guys. I have an important message. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm just going to mute myself for a bit, and I'll be right back in 1 minute. Continue with the questions. I can do this shit all night. Yo, I'm doing my masterclass. Are you there right now? Okay, turn on both lights. There's a button. Please do not drop the camera. Just click the button. Okay, turn on the camera. When you turn on the camera, double click twice. It'll say some shit like 720p. Ignore that. Just double click twice. No, click. Ignore. Just double click until it goes to the footage. Like, yeah. Okay, you can see it. Put both lights on. Like, just turn them on at the very top. Behind it, click the button. And then go onto the computer. Is it on? Bottom right somewhere, there's a Streamlabs tab. Click it. Not Streamlabs or OBS. OBS or Streamlabs. Okay, click OBS. Okay, whatever you do not click start streaming because you literally start streaming on my Twitch. Okay, make sure you're clicking start recording. Do you see your face now? If you don't see your face, something's not right then. You'll have to not do it now. I'll have to call. Fuck. I'm live on my masterclass right now. I don't think I can help then.
Your video call.
Okay. I'll FaceTime you later to help. Because I'm just live right now. 100 people. Okay. Alright, bye. Alright, I'm back. How are you going first? You always set up minion spell. What did I just do there? You always set up minion spell going first and a crocky going second. What do we use Donner? I mentioned the Donner. The distinction for Perulia, always use, if you have Perulia or Fualos on your turn, never use it on your, okay, hold on. Ignore that. Let's say you're going first. You're going first. This is game 1. You're going first. Do not randomly drop Perulia or Fualos when you're going first. At the beginning of the format, people would do that to draw if your opponent summons Holly Sue. But by you dropping Perulia or Fualos on your own turn, not the opponent's, on your own turn, when you're going first, this is not when you're going second. When you're going first, if you do it, the opponent could Azuna you on your turn. So don't do that. If you're going second, drop it immediately. But if you draw into Perulia going second, like you're going second and your opponent has a Vanquish Soul board already up, obviously still drop Perulia. Obviously. Trif, curious your playing started. I've been experiencing it with the 3 school. Play 3 engage. Guys, play 3 engage, not 2. And the 2 I've been playing with that, pretty solid. Do not play Dotscaper and Rescue Cat. It's poor into normal summons. You want to normal summon the Yummy. Any other normal summon like Cyber Scatcher or Dotscaper, it's redundant because the Yummies do the same thing, but it's also a special summon. So don't do that. I mentioned the alternative line earlier. Any tips, tricks in the mirror? How do you play against full Yummy board? Here's the trick. Play 100 matches. This is why I was saying the coaching Discord with 100 duels is so important. You will never, ever, ever win against a player that is absurdly better than you if you allow a Link 1 and level 1 on field. A Link 1, that's how you win. When you have a Synchro 2 up on the field or a Link 1 and a level 1, now the Yummy game begins. Now it's anyone's game. Because of all the tag outs and all the quick synchros, it's extremely complicated that you will only... Guys, please unmute yourself. Thank you. Once a Link 1 and level 1's on board or a Synchro 2 is on board to start tagging out immediately so everything gets their effects off, that's when you're always in the game. Your opponent could have 6 interruptions and you could have fucking nothing. 2 cards. But you'll always be in the game. So, that's the game plan there. Just do your best, whatever possible. I don't care if it's... Okay, with the exception of saving Obedience School. You save Obedience School against every matchup going second. You do not save Obedience School against Yummy, because if you book the first action against Yummy, it's set. No Hornet Drones, no Obedience. So you just have to play very smart and get them to waste their interactions fast. Make your opponent stop the Kagari. Make your opponent stop the Obedience School. That's fine. Your game plan is simply to get to a Link 1 and a level 1, and you will be in the game. I have had 1 Link 1 and 1 level 1 destroy the opponent's full Yummy board because you have to use half of it. Bell is a great card in main deck, but I just opted for the other option. Bell is still great though. Gravity collapses ass. Our deck destroys Blue Eyes Primite. Does have a tough time to Lunalight because we're bad against towers type decks. However, if we simply don't allow the Lunalight Liger to hit the board, we'll destroy them, and then you have to be 25 hunters per side. They just won't summon it. How do you learn other decks and where to hit them? Where you have to play hundreds of matches. It's the only way. There's no even number one answer. Like against Draco Tail, obviously anything they normal summon, all their normal summons they use are they quick fusion. So when they on the main phase, so if they normal a card and use effect, like normal Malulu effect, Valor anything they have immediately that has an effect, or Ash any spell immediately, they lose. They are more bricky than Vanquish Soul. Vanquish Soul also hand trap all the Rosins and Mad Loves. Don't let them play. Trade 1-for-1 with Vanquish Soul so their 3 attributes don't resolve. The only thing you got to think about is Vanquish Soul is use your interactions correctly. Where if you're gonna Valor the Rosin, it will open up Canine cards. So just understand that and have the rest of your cards available to stop it. What do you think the format will look like post Boundless? The 3 new Josh decks will reign supreme. Nothing else. pick up all the Josh decks for cheap. They are absurdly cheap right now. Absurdly. Get them all while you can. They're about to skyrocket. Next format, I would love for breakers to be played. I don't think it will. I think maybe it will though, because it's just better versus others, I guess. No malice. I'll let you know though, because I will be updating everything as it goes. Do you just shotgun both Charmies and draw phase? Against Vanquish Soul, shotgun both. How do you prepare for the decks in larger tournament? I play 1,000 games and I destroy the enemies. Gravity Collapse is not good because it requires us to play and have it. What are the problems of this deck that we solve with Dude? That's a great question, actually. The problems with this deck is when they stall them warning the normal summon, or get rid of the normal summon with like MTP. If you start with the Yummy, that implies there's no engage or obedience. What the new Yummy Marshmallow does, if you control no monster, special this card. Boom. Solves so much. This is an extender, not a normal summon. It's the best one by far. On top of that, if we all agree, there's two problems to this deck. The problem is when they deal with the normal summon and you can't special all the Yummies in your hand, and when they banish field spell, right? This effect, literally, this card literally special summons for free, dealing with that problem, and it puts the field spell from banish to the field. This card literally is the glue of the deck. It becomes tier 0 immediately once this card gets released. It fixes entirely such a greatly worded card. Every deck, every problem with this deck, and the field spell is broken too, or the continuous spell. How to properly sequence 2-card combo to play on specific hand traps. There's so many iterations that it'll complicate you guys. Just play, trust me. Field spell no longer lost the void, meaning yes, that was answered. Just need learn how play against the mirror and decide against the meta, and I'm playing. Yeah, I mentioned follow the thing I said about siding. That will work every time. Do you have any thoughts on alternative versions? The best alternative version, in my opinion, is either Primite or with Fiendsmith or Adventure. But this is just better because it's just more clean, basically. Your answer to Perulia is, or Purge, is to put the hand traps that are in the side in the main deck that I mentioned. Nib, Baylor, Bell. The breaker list without songs. If you're playing breakers without songs, main deck Fualo, side deck Lancia and Droll, and you're fine. You don't even need. Don't even play Imperm. Just play more board breakers like Eclipse and shit. What's the win con when minion field gets banished? You cry. That's the win con. You cry and hope your opponent feels sorry for you and gives you the win. But no, in reality, you just slow grind. Recognize you gotta hit 8K. So you're still gonna have 5 interrupts if the field skill gets banished. You still have 5+ interrupts. What you lack is ways to do damage. So you just gotta slowly do that while controlling game state. Against empty board, any specific 1-card lines with OTK? Yeah. It's all the same. I'll go through our OTK line. Just look at this quick, guys. The highest that three monsters in this deck, that like 3 Yummy monsters in attack position, the highest that'll get is 7,300 attack. Okay? And I'll pretend I don't have Obedience Gold. Cupsy, you either search it now or you search it when it comes out. You use your 4 or 5 cards to either put your opponent on a ship board or not. Pay attention to this, guys. If you have 3 monsters, the highest you get to is 7,300 attack. You need 4 monsters. 3 monsters will never be OTK. So from 1... This should be very... Oh, I just discarded a random card. This should be very straightforward to this point where you guys are seeing. Any one Yummy is full OTK. Any Yummy is full OTK. So even if you put this is 6,900. When it's 600, 600, 1,200, I don't even need to do the math. I've done this shit so often, I know it off by heart. This is 6,900. But the highest you can get to is 7,300 when you replace a cookie over a lollipop. However, you have not specialed this cookie. So as we speak right now, this is 6,900. It's your choice right now if you want to play into Nibiru. in battle phase, you cannot go surprise into Cupsy because the card you summon with surprise cannot attack directly. So you have to make the judgment call. Am I gonna ignore Nib or not? This is 6,900. I fucking ignore Nib all the time. They could suck it. I'm going for game right now if I have the opportunity. But if I sense Nib, and I don't know how to explain it. As a poker player, you could feel it. You just know sometimes. You could just like see your opponent's mannerisms. Like they have 4 cards in hand and they didn't hand trap you once or play last turn. Obviously, it's a Nib. You know, like there's a few mannerisms you could figure out like that. This is 6,900. This is 7,300. Even if you have 2 cookies, it's 7,700. So it's never game. So but if you just summon the cookie, any one yummy leads to this line over here, which they each gain 500 now. This is over 10,000 damage because each of them gain 2,000. That's OT. Any one yummy equals OTK. Can you show us the line and nib combo? Yeah, I mentioned the line and nib combo earlier. You simply just, when you recognize your opponent summoned more than 5 times going second, you go enter battle. Like, just, let's say, oops. Alright. If you want to use the effects, sure, because they'll have to negate it, and if they negate and destroy, this says search a monster with 1500 or less defense, so you just search nib. If they don't, you take the cookie on the field, let's say destroy everything, attack against the cookie, which would be 2,100 attack because of their own field spell. Effect. Nib. They summoned 10 times already this turn because you're playing Yummy. Alright, main phase 2. Kick rocks. Yummy surprise. And then depending on what you have, it always differ. A lot of times at this point, you don't even have the Synchro 2s in rotation. So a lot of times you don't even use the Lollipop yet. So let's say, just as an example here, you know, you go surprise for this. Special. And then you go Lollipop. Etc. There's no real line after. It all depends on how many cards they have, etc. Try to use your own nib with the SP, whatever. What do you side against K9 Brick Soul? All the Veiler. I put in Veiler and 2 nib. So I put in these 5 and I put in Talent. Because Talent is always live against them. So these are the 6 that I put in. And I remove the 6 I mentioned. Against K9 VS. I put in 3 Veiler, 2 nib, 1 Talent. Because Talent against that deck, doesn't matter how shit of a mid board they put up. Your Talents will always be live against a rock of the Vanquisher. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you'll hand trap the Rosin. They'll have rock always at the end of the day. But they'll trigger your talents for you. So triple tactic cards against Vanquish Soul is really good. So these 6, yeah, 1 cookie, 1 lollipop, 1 engage, 1 prosp, 1 for 1, 1 surprise. I remove prosp because I'm trying to kill him. Some people, what's that right order for utilizing interactions versus Dragon Tail and Crystron K9? It will always differ. Dragon Tail, you don't let that shit resolve. So if they immediately start synchro summoning when they activate the spell card, if they activate any spell, and if you don't have Ash for it, or if you don't have Purge, if you don't have Ash or Purge to stop the Add Fuse, or Ash to stop the Brand Infusion, or a Herald, against K-Not, Draco Tail, you set up Herald immediately. In fact, against Draco Tail, if you open Obedience and a Yummy, remember I told you, always start Obedience? If you're facing against Draco Tail, you summon Yummy instead. Because you need to put up Herald against them, because it's an auto-win button. If you drop Herald against Draco Tail, all their shit specifically says when it gets sent to Graveyard. So if Herald banishes cards that are sent to grave from hand or deck, so all that, they just lost a crazy amount of advantage. So you go out of your way to summon Herald against Draco Tail. Crystron K9, Herald is also crazy. You go out of your way to summon it. Next, some people like Lucas Sacco say that Yummy have a lot of Silver Bullet. What's Silver Bullet? I don't know what that means. Silver Bullet meaning a magical method of killing. Bro, they are both my friends, but they fucking suck if that's what they think. They simply have not played enough of Yummy to say that. To say for 2 players that are supposed, like Julian is a national champion. I actually sent him the link here. He should be here. I hope he hears this. to be a national champion and say that tells me either he is saying it for views, or he hasn't played the deck enough. It's fine. It just came out. I don't expect people to play the deck enough. Sako is trying to master 3 different decks. Clearly, he hasn't put in the work with Yummy, and it shows when I utterly obliterated his ass when he played Yummy. He just doesn't know enough about the deck to speak on it. There's a reason why I'm not hosting right now. Even though I know Draco Tail at a very high level, I've played it. I'm not sitting here doing a Draco Tail Masterclass until I've entered 10 locals and a regional with it. You get what I'm saying? Or K9 Vanquish Soul. Even though I know a crazy high amount of it, for them to say that about Yami is just simply incorrect and almost blasphemy. Because to say that has silver bullets, which I just googled what it means is like ways to kill them, this deck has 0 silver bullets. So for someone to say it has many silver bullets is straight up either, again, for views or absurd lack of knowledge. I would trust nothing that they have to say about Yummy if that's what they truly believe. Because there is no silver bullets or golden bullets on this deck. Name one. The world says breakers are good. They are not. Every breaker this deck eats. Literally, I've been breakered to fuck with this deck. You guys don't think I've been hit with every board breaker known to mankind while I played Yummy? I destroyed their ass, bro. I ate them for breakfast. It does, like, there's nothing. There's not a single one. The worst one is SP Banish Field Spell. But if you're talking about Malice dealing with Lancia, Fualos, and Meows and Chaos Hunter as killers, you're telling me that the worst thing that we have to deal with is if someone has to play through 8 interruptions and banish the field spell, we lose the grind game? Bro, that's that's the greatest, like, sure. You get what I'm saying? No problem. Cookism, I explained earlier how to deal with retaliation in an earlier question, so I think you heard that. Thing about running United We Stand, I hope you don't play United We Stand. Is the FTK version of Yummy good? I don't even know what the FTK version is, so I'm going to answer absolutely fuck no. Thoughts on weird variants? I much prefer pure, but maybe there's other ones. Some other versions might be better. Other than Draco Tail, is there another deck to recommend we make go first? That's a great question. Draco Tail is the only one I would feel comfortable to do that with. No, that's it. Just Draco Tail. Just with the way Draco Tail plays, they're gonna have Gamma Driver. They're gonna have 6 Charmies. They're gonna have like siding out their already very low engine, like, and our hand traps like Valor, Imperm, Pass Turn, literally, or Ash or Purge. Like, we have so many turn skips against that deck that would probably be the only one. Just the way they play. Nib during your turn. Yeah, I just mentioned that, and I will post a replay of it as well. Why are we back in Akwai? Good question. I still don't know if I want to play it or not. I keep going back and forth. It's better than a second minion. It's okay. After hearing that this doesn't pop your own card, I might remove it. TBD. Bell is great in the main deck. What if you get deck David? Cry, probably. I don't like Rivalry in the side because then some decks is good, some decks is bad. If we're going to play a trap card, Floodgate, I would rather just play a crazy trap that we throw in against everything. Sales Ban is ass. I do not recommend. Is 2x minion better for a beginner than 1-1? That's a good question. Allow your opponent, like, keep in mind, guys, Mitsurugi has to deal with Droll. Mitsurugi Rizal has to deal with Droll, Perulian, Fualos that kills the deck. Lancia has to deal with all those cards we mentioned. K9 Vanquish Soul has to deal with itself, which is a worse problem than everything. It'll lose half the hands because it sucks. Draco Tail loses the single interaction sometimes. Our, like, Achilles heel, our weakness, is that they need to play through 8 interruptions and banish our field spell. It's okay. I do not think it's worth playing 2. I would prefer you play 1 field spell and no Akraki, or 1 field spell, 1 minion, 1 Akraki. Lines against Shifter, half the OTK, because it'll give us no interrupts. Marcher is better because it gives your turn 0 play into Nibiru better. Starham is a play that you do on the opponent's turn as like your 7th or 8th interruption on top. Not worth. Do you sometimes go for 3 snatchies turn 0? I do. Do you still shotgun minion on turn 1 during the combo? Yes. Oh, if I have if I have the shit field spell, I just ignore it. At the end of the turn, I might activate it, but probably not. Got my first OTS on Sunday. Any tips? Yeah. Destroy your opponent. Achieve victory. And tell them that Trif Gaming sent you. And after you Nibiru your opponent, say, I have a gift from Trif. Here you go. And then throw his whole board in the graveyard by taking your Nibiru and flipping all his cards to the graveyard physically with your Nibiru. That's my tip. $50 a month still worth if we are not in the US. Only the coaching part. It's gonna be as long guys, coaching, spending money on Yu-Gi-Oh coaching is worth it tremendously only if you're intending to go to multiple locals a week. I'm not even talking at the regional or YCS level. If you can make money at locals as long as you have one good locals near you. If you are not going to locals consistently, or if you're not rich, do not spend $50 a month. If you're spending $50 a month on coaching, that means you have to apply the coaching, if that makes sense. If you're rich, it's different. Who gives a fuck? You have money. Do whatever. Buy a golden toilet if you want. You know? Or buy like, when I'm rich, bro, I'm literally going to buy the most heinous shit. I'm going to buy $30 donuts and eat one bite and leave it. But if money's tight and you don't see it, there's still value in it only if you're going to locals. My first week of playing with my knowledge of this deck, I have won over $1,500 of Yu-Gi-Oh product in 10 days. 10 days of locals, I won over $1,500 of Yu-Gi-Oh product by winning. Now, obviously, you won't do that just with knowledge. Like, maybe a decade of Yu-Gi-Oh experience helps. You know, like, obviously it's more than black and white. But there's a lot of value in partaking in coaching if you're intending to actually go to locals. Like, you're not going to be a millionaire from going to locals and winning. But New York has a huge scene as well. Gamer's Choice, I believe is what the locals is called. They have a box tournament every single day, Monday through Sunday. I want to move to New York just for that. Like, specifically. And case tournaments all the time. So, if it's shit like that, and on top of that you get 2 packs an entry, and when you get good, you'll have a sponsor that pays for your entry, so you don't have to pay for entry. It becomes crazy high value, dead ass, really high. So if you're trying to play often, I recommend it. But if your locals is shit, and they release like, hey, you won? Here's 2 packs. Then I don't know. But regionals to YCS, like, you can get your money back a lot. I need to get the Hyperbolic Time Trader tonight. Grind like 40 something matches with the list. Let's go, Red Gator. I am cheering you on. I know you'll do well. Tomorrow goes ODA Champ. Which version should I play? Hand traps is better and safer. I have put in 10 or 11 straight locals of hand traps. So I'm going to be playing board breakers for my regional tomorrow. If you guys know Mario D'Amico, both of us are going to be playing at Montreal Regional tomorrow with board breaker. Potentially when we go to New York, we're probably going to change that to hand traps. Just so we could have 2 very good players' knowledge on each version. We'll play the same list so we have like good knowledge. Only shotgun Charmy if you're going second. Never shotgun Charmy if you're going first. Please do not play evenly in thrust inside in the hand trap version. Thrust is a little more okay, maybe 2 of them. Do not play evenly because you're gonna hand trap your opponent with 21 hand traps. Your opponent will have a board of set 1 and 1 monster that does nothing, and you're gonna evenly, and you're gonna be like, fuck, I lost my battle phase for nothing. Not good, trust. Opt for thrust, it's okay. A few thrust is okay in breaker, but don't play other, because thrust could just get obedience. Talents in main, if you want, but I prefer it inside going first only, or second against only VS. Against Ogre, if your opponent normal summons a Yummy monster, and they go link 1 effect, immediately Ghost Ogre it. That implies there's no engage, no obedience, they pass their turn. Alile Rassam, you were, bro, Alile, you were here for the entire Masterclass. I maybe said it 3 times why Nibiru at 1. We play the 1 copy of Nibiru because it has 600 defense. So by going second against Yummy, we crash with Lina into their cookie with 2000 attack or whatever high attack monster they have. Lina goes to the graveyard, destroyed by Battler effect, triggers in damage step where they can't tag out their synchros, search Nibiru, and because the Yummy summons 10 times on your turn, you Nibiru on your own turn. And they auto lose. Auto lose. Bell is good, but I like Ogre more and Perulia more. It's the next card to put in. If you want to put Bell over Ogre, that's okay. How to play around Super Poly? You're going to put up so many monsters and you have surprise set to Reborn and Synchro anyways that they're going to need 2 Super Polys. And even then, they're going to do a 3 non-engine to their 2 cards left. The one with the crazy name. Ukano Mutsune no Onari. Mandatory to play this. I'll mention a few cards that I recommend purchasing as well, in case you want to change it. Lina is there because against Yummy, you enter battle phase with any 2 monsters, crash Lina into their monster, effect, search Nibiru, main phase 2, use Nibiru. It's a full Regeki on your turn against their board. And then you play after with your extenders. Always Almirage over Anima. If you don't want to play Nibiru, yes, it conflicts with Obedience School, but that's the point. Because Nibiru conflicts with Obedience and Engage, the opponent will never ever expect it because you're playing Yummy. That's where Nibiru comes crazy level. When an opponent do not respect Nibiru, it becomes a god card. When they respect Nibiru, it's very easy to play around. That's why it's so good. For us, specifically. If you remove Nibiru, you could remove Lina and Donner. And you could remove these 2 for a Starham and a second Herald, if you want. Link Spider is also removable, because the best way, as you see in the spreadsheet, to play on Nib is Ukana Mutse and Anari. If I was going to regional, this exact list you're looking at. I'm only going to take Breakers to regional tomorrow, only because I've been playing hand trap version like for fucking 11 locals straight. I won 2 case tournaments and over $1,500 of total prizing. So like, I have more knowledge than any human being on planet Earth as we speak, even the OCG nerds, on playing Yummy Hand Trap. So I need to learn, even though I already know everything about Breaker, what happens in a 12-round tournament or 9-round tournament when I get with that. Why not second Herald and Ham? You answer they're the 16th and 17th. They're win more. You'll never, like, if the 8 interrupts that this deck does isn't enough, there's a high chance 9 interrupts won't. Like, you'll always have enough. But if you want to put second Herald and Ham, those are the next choices after 2 of 3 of Spider, Line, and Donner. Use 1-for-1 as your last card. If you don't need to use 1-for-1, don't use it, because it's a neg. Only use 1-for-1 if they hand trap you. It's just the best extender, because it doesn't require a normal summon. Nice play. You can also do the surprise in battle phase, yes. But keep in mind there'll probably be other shit too. But you're right. That's actually very nice. You could just enter battle, use surprise, give the attack boost, go for game. Going second, Obedience School would be the last push against every deck except Yummy. Because they're going to book your card immediately with Cookie, so they can't do that. Anyway, don't know the field spell I mentioned. If you'd like, I prefer Valor. I want all hand traps. I want all hand traps because the only way the main decks like Cupsy to get surprise, or Vanquish Soul to get the trap card, or K9 to resolve and get the quick play spell, the only way they get back row is if their plays resolve. So I actually don't like Duster and Lightning Storm in a hand trap build because your opponent won't be doing shit. You're quadruple hand trapping your opponent, so which means they're not going to be able to search their spells and traps. There is no like none of their traps and shit. You're not allowing them to get it. So it becomes a bit redundant sometimes, but if you want to play it, it's okay. I understand. The one on the screen is the best hand trap version. Did I really go through all 1,000 questions? I'm the fucking GOAT, bro. Do you have any idea how many people would not be able to answer fucking 100 questions like that off the top? I just answered all 100 questions, and I am now officially out of breath. I need more Monster. Guys, how are you liking the masterclass? I hope that you guys are learning a lot. I'm dropping every tidbit of knowledge in my massive brain for all of you. I cannot even think of anything else. Everything I've learned from my 500 matches, I'm everything. Like, I'm hiding nothing. I am not that type of guy that would be like, you know what? Maybe the hyper librarian. It even showed you guys the hyper librarian combo. Like, I am not that type of guy that would say, you know what? I'm gonna save this for myself for the YCS. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything and everything I know in my 500 plus matches, I will happily tell you. And it will continue to do so. This is why I said on Thursday, we're going to have another masterclass. Because from now until Thursday, on Thursday, we're going straight, like, Vancouver is the next day. We got to, that class is due at 1 p.m. the next day. So I'm going to submit my full list. And not only am I, like, I want you guys, not only do I not want you guys to play it, I want you guys to play my list. Super Bowl going second with a Snatchy and Cupsy Yummy. You'll always have 4 Yummies on the field. So even if they with surprise. So even with that, you just surprise, special back the other. So you'll always be okay because of surprise. The other breaker build I showed you is very nice. There's definitely a lot of info. There's a lot of info, which is why, guys, please, like, if you guys went to my last master classes with Mitsurugi and Ryzel and Vanadium that I hosted before, I never included a spreadsheet because I always found spreadsheets a little nerdy, if I'm being honest. But people take in information differently, and I realized that it's actually very good to have something written down. So I took the time to make that 12-page spreadsheet, and when I get back from my double regional, I will increase that 12-page to like a 20-page fucking booklet. So you guys can always look at it before a regional, before an OTS, before a YCS. It'll always be there. So everything I said on this video, even though right now there's only 12 pages, everything I said that's not in that spreadsheet, I will be including there manually. So you guys will have for yourselves. Always. For any YCS as like a cheat sheet. Let's say you forgot and want to just refresh your memory before a YCS, just open it and look at it. Everything will be there very organized. And on top of that, every replay I have on Dueling Book, I will be, that I think is a nice replay to learn from, I will be adding there as well. Yeah, I'm gonna post my the whole regional. I'm gonna update you guys on the regional as it goes on Discord. This is a community we're building here, guys, on the server. This is not like some like, hey guys, here's a master. This is a community. I want you guys here. I expect you guys here on Thursday to get fucking the final masterclass to learn it. But if you guys are serious about Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm even expecting you guys 6 months from now when, who knows, maybe the next best deck is fucking, maybe it's the new Pendulum deck. Who the fuck knows? I want you guys to come all the time. But what I'm not gonna do is I refuse to like make 3 spreadsheets, if that makes sense. Like, unless I truly know life it, I want to become the expert at one deck, the true expert. That's all I fucking play of the format. And if you guys want to know anything about that deck, I'm your guy. I will teach you more about that deck than any human being on planet Earth. In fact, after me, the next most knowledgeable on the deck will be all of you in chronological order. However, what I can't do, I can't give you guys a spreadsheet on KS. Even though I know how to destroy it, I can't give you guys a spreadsheet on K9 Mega Soul. I know an absurd amount about it, but I can't tell you guys about. I don't, like, you get what I'm saying? You can only be the Michael Jordan of one deck, really. There's a reason why Michael Jordan should have stuck to basketball and not baseball. So that's what I intend to do. Every format, I will pick one deck, and I will play it so often that when I go to sleep, I dream of Cupsy Yummy. The new link that you added, the one next to the left of Cupsy, yes. Donner? So this is Donner, Lina, Link Spider. You could remove Link Spider for reals. You could remove it. I have removed it before because the way around Nib is this. So decide if you want to enter the cross. Let's say you don't want to line a crash Nib. You can remove these two. But if you remove Lina and SP, now you have no answer to Cross Sheep. Donner is a pseudo out, while it being a nib out. So it's either like main 3 nib, side the 2 ogre. You can remove these two, play Starham and Herald. The thing with this deck is there's no real perfect, like, correct 100% answer, because all of these can come up at times, but they're kind of like, if you're deciding, I promise you guys, the difference of 2 nib or 2 ogre will not be the difference of winning a tournament or not. Like, your deck is still the same deck. Or removing Lina, like the one Lina play, if it comes up, it could come up, like, make your choice on what you want. It could be this, it could be that. But if you have the Lina, you need Donner to remove it, because you destroy itself and then you destroy the card your opponent has. That drop is not good, Jeff, but it's cool. I will up as soon as this is done. As soon as this masterclass is done, which we're almost there, I will post this on my Google Drive immediately, and I will post it. If you guys look above general and above training, all masterclasses where it's like 12 fire, 5 my Yummy spreadsheet. Under that, I'm gonna post the Yummy masterclass. It'll be up by by tonight. As soon as, I don't know how long 5 hours will take in Google Drive on a hotel of Wi-Fi, but as soon as it's done, I'm posting it. Is there any other? So we went through a bunch of detailed stuff. Is there any combos you guys want to go over? Like, what should I do with 1 Yummy? What should I do with 1 Obedience Gold? That is all in the spreadsheet. But do you guys want to see it? Typhon for second Herald could be good, but if you view these Herald and Link Synchro 3s as packages, either play Marcher and Herald, like Marcher Herald should be the first one. If you're going to play Starhammer and second Herald, include the other. Don't play 2 3s and 1 4, that's very bad. View them as packages, either play 0 or 2. Yo, I need that picture of Cookie Yummy. I'm going to include this on my masterclass. Sorry, my Twitter. That's a sick. Cookie Yummy with a chefs. I love it. Yeah, and King says a very good point there. Like, we have all the text I said. Like, actually just play whatever you guys like and feel more comfortable with. There's so many good, like, stuff. So, guys, look above me on training. You see replays, you see general, you see all masterclass. Literally just click the Yummy spreadsheet and it'll be download. I posted it here for you guys' convenience. Once you're a Discord member, now, in the next few days, I will be adding a lot of perms and roles to everyone. The only people that will be able to see all the masterclass and the spreadsheets will be someone who's on the paid membership. But if you guys are on the $50 paid membership, you will be receiving every single spreadsheet that I post forever, as long as you're a member. And the yearly membership is crazy. It's 50% off the whole year. It is about $300 for the year, yes. But for $300, you're going to be receiving 5 hours of coaching every week for 52 weeks. So it's pretty insane when you think about it. It ends up being 250 hours of coaching with 52 spreadsheets, 250 hours of coaching, a community, 52 locals, and you get way better for $300. It's actually a crazy deal if you think about it. But it only is good if you are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Consistently. If you are not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Consistently, do not spend that type of money on Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, if it's just for shits and gigs, I appreciate it. I'll be well off. I'm well off regardless. Only do it if you're actually trying to get value from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because let me tell you, there's money to be made in this game, despite some people saying that there's not. There is. I know. I have made $1,500 worth of product in the last 10 days. I know. I see it. Let alone how much value those 10 locals I gave for my YouTube channel, even without the YouTube channel. $1,500 worth of product. I've had I've had an absurd amount. Like of I've sold so many random cores of this new set that I can't believe how fucking cheap it is now. Like Draco Tail's like what you get for like $70 now. When that shit came out, it was $250. Anyways. Okay, let's do. I heard Europe locals sucks. Is that true? Like I heard Europe locals has like no pricing. If I win locals, I get 4 packs. Fuck, that's fucking ass. Bro, we had a case tournament on a fucking Wednesday. 2 days ago, we had a fucking case tournament on Wednesday. On a Wednesday. It went until 1 a.m. On a fucking Wednesday. That's how crazy Toronto is. And the whole GTA. I have a case turning tomorrow here in San Diego. Let's go. Hope you win. I went to UK for a work trip, stopped by locals, top prize is 5 packs. Holy shit, that's ass. That's what we have in Mexico. If I win a local with 12 people, I get 3 packs. Bro. Here, one sec. Let me, I actually have the link of, hold on a sec. Alright guys, look at this. I have the link of all of our locals. I have the sheet that shows it. Hold up. You guys are gonna laugh. How do I send it? One sec. You guys, look at this. Alright guys, look at this. My buddy even color coordinated it. So it like the red is Scarborough, which is like a town. Teal is its own town. Purple is its own town. So we can even color like so we know. Like these are the tournaments. Look at the days. Look at the hours, the times. So you could go to 2 locals on Saturday, 2 locals on Sunday. In total, over 50. And this is cut off. There's even more on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that go down. I just cut it off because I don't go to the locals underneath it. So there's actually even more than those. $50 locals a week. Crazy. A live DB game. Alright, comment right now. Everyone spam let's go right now. If you want to see a live dueling book game right now. Yo, I didn't know that my own Discord was full of grandmas. I said, if you want to see a dueling book game with the pen god, yummy god right now, spam let's go, everyone, in the chat right now. Let's go, baby. That's what I love to see. Indeed, you guys are not grandmas. This is fellow yummy goats. Let's go. It's time. Let's do it. Let us proceed. This is a great way to play it. I'm going to do the... Yeah, we can do double herald. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's do it. We won't do the Linus style. Let's go, baby. We should have a good opponent. I have pretty decent rating. I don't play often on DB. My choice of testing is IRL in person or privately, but we have a good enough rating to play a good player. It's okay rating. It's like 1100 or some shit. Fuck, we're playing some pleb. 600/1444. Hello? Bro, why do I queue up against Trif? Today's just not my day. The game is already won. YCS champ diff. Okay, let me think now. I'm down to rock prosperity right now. I'm down to rock prosperity. Ha ha ha. Kill. Alright. Not bad. So the reason why he flawless is obviously because he's drawing into Ash. We take Cup C here. We summon Hornet Drones. We go Cup C. Snatchy put the field spell, summon Cup C, pass. I might give him 2 draws. Nice fool. Good on him, because I could have had Ash. This will give the least amount of draws here through Fua. Obedient School, yes, we get everything, but through Fua it won't be as good. Oops, I literally added that back. I'll go on deck again, so the cards at the bottom doesn't matter. Alright. So, now I have to see if we special. We don't have access to a few cards. This right here is where most people will pass. Think res. Because we got rid of SP, because of Prosp getting rid of SP and the other, the Onari Link 2, our play into Nib is very poor. We're on 4 summons right now. Even if I go into, I could always Cup C on his turn, discard Cookie, have the Cookie as an interrupt. I am comfortable here to set Surprise and Purge and pass. If I had the other 2, I would let him draw 2 more times. But this is the safest play, and I will set the Purge because we might want to save the token for a Kagari later, if for some reason it survives. This way, the Fua traded for a draw 1. And this right here, assuming there's no impermanent main, or in standby or draw, this right here, Snatchy and Cupsy, this is the full 7 interrupts on its own. Oh, fuck, not this deck. Alright, I gotta lock in. We got our worst matchup, boys. I'm doing this early now so I could get my stuff set up. I want Cookie in the graveyard as a pop. I would like Lollipop is a great interrupt against them as well, but I'd prefer Cookie currently. Not bad, buddy. But not good enough. I'm gonna have to let that go. Do that. Here's Polly. I think I still want to pop it. Go Lollipop. That's not good enough. Alright, go. Pussy. Wait, what's happening with the stream? You guys can't watch it? What the fuck? There's some good ass shit going on.
The exit velocity is
Thank you, Ronnie. If they go Luna Light Perfume right now, I'm purging the fuck out of that, not gonna lie. Discard first. Oh, discard Polly. Oh, I'm definitely purging the fuck out of that. Later, buddy. Nice try, son. Discarding Polly. Think Res. I mean, yeah, we have to summon Snatchy right now. Oh my god, bro. That is very sad. Very sad. Okay, it's okay. We're still gonna win this game. Doesn't matter. So he gets rid of that. We're gonna get this and get follow up now. This is where Fualos. This is where Fualos gets nice value. But not nice enough value. One sec. It's when Fualos is paired with breaker style cards like Imperm or Bistials that stop the quick synchro with surprise or shit like that. Or Impulse. Like Impulse, like he has two, even though they're hand traps, breaker style cards. And he had to discard Polly. So as I said, even if they do that, Buddy just entered battle phase. Buddy said battle phase. Sure. No problem at all. So even through that, like, let's say they fool you, they double interrupt you with purge and shit like that. I mean, guys, we have 20 hand traps. So in this situation, purge stopped the perfume. We have Nib if he pushes super, super hard. We aight. And then we have full combo. And you cannot banish field spell. Because you don't have a link. Or XYZ. Loser. What ugly. You're ugly in normal games. You're ugly. No Almirage here, so do not summon Fua. Watch this. Oh wait, I'm actually stupid. I'm playing hard into Impulse now. Oh my god, I just played into Impulse hard. So if I chain this, I should have special Cupsy and then special Cookie. Wait, what? Which ones? Wait, did he target Snatchy? Pointed at Snatchy. Sure, buddy. Chain. Do you guys see that play there to play into double Impulse? If I special Cupsy and then Cookie afterwards, he cannot Nibiru me. So that was the line. Doesn't matter, I'm gonna win. Oh, he can't Nibiru me because of the thing. SS2. This is a game to a Jewel Swarm. This is hella game. Cool trick, if you know you're going for game, literally just summon both cookies if you want.
Wait, Trif, you just can't nib in general because of Impulse, right?
Yeah,
like
I'm
locks you
saying
out of place?
because of nib he can't. Because of Impulse he can't nib.
Yeah, okay.
I started with Surprise, I led to Link 1. I haven't even used Minion, and I haven't normal summoned. Oh my god, I'm about to destroy this guy right now. Look at this. Summon Cupsy. You guys see the line right now? He's gonna change Ruiz. Chain Lollipop! Oh! Get wrecked, son! Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Quote incoming. Ooh! Pretty good. Still gonna lose, but pretty good. Pretty damn good. Target Snatchy. Bro. Alright. No problem. Drew us in hand. Sir. Normal. GG. GG, buddy. I don't even need to count. This is like 12. This is 15,000 damage. Roughly 20,000, give or take. All right, now to stop this deck's literal lose con. I'm putting 50 billion hand traps. I don't care. Okay, let me think now. Okay, let's go. 19, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 hand traps. I've never put in 27 hand traps before. 26 was my most. Can someone please explain to me how that's humanly possible? We put in 27 hand traps, and we only see
I'll do
one.
the math real quick.
Please do the math.
I'll do the math real quick.
So in situations like this, let's say we nib Yummy here. They'll have like a kind of weaker board than normal, and on top of that, people will not respect nib, so they'll literally special their last cookie from hand, and then we just have two normals, surprise, and if they leave, we can go engage. So it's not bad.
All right, I've done the math. We have a 3% chance of drawing one or fewer hand traps.
Oh my god.
About 1 in 30.
Oh, add a Lunalite. Oh, he has full combo and then some. Guys, what's the chance we win this game? Like, say a percent. What do you think the percent that we win is?
They get Liger Dancer through Nibiru, so
yeah,
it's almost impossible.
I'll say 0.1. Maybe a YCS champ diff makes him make a misplay. They could put up Liger before the summons, I think, from what I recall. He must be thinking like, what the fuck? Where's your hand traps, Trif? I just saw your video. You played 20 hand traps. But little does he know, all we need is one. Right, gents?
When I was theory crafting at the start of the format, I came up with the dumbest anti-yummy deck. It's like the 2020 deck we made, Dragoon Turbo. The whole deck just activate Red Ice Fusion.
Let's go. Gents, what's going on right
I
now?
mean, if you face Yummy, you just win.
Wait, guys.
He probably went for Polly.
So are we just grinding games right now?
Yeah, but I think after this one, I'm gonna call it a day. I wanted the other one to be the main dueling one, and this one the kind of like the lesson one.
Yep.
Hold on. If you by banishing freedom materials, the sun on it from your fielder. Yeah, rip. No, not Liger. It's okay.
Do we have
Also
any out
Trif.
there, bro?
0.
In the pure, no.
If you get
Could.
enough attack points with the with the field spell, you technically can, but unless they're like on every substance known to mankind, they're never gonna.
Let's go! That's
happen.
why I'm the yummy goat.
You're voting.
That's why I'm the yummy goat. Never give up.
Paid actor.
Never give up.
But also, Trif, when are we gonna see you play Fiendsmith Yummy? The real best deck. The secret group.
That's a good question.
He's
where
like
is
out
this?
this. I make Agnumde.
Where's my yummy Fiendsmith? I've dabbled in yummy Fiendsmith.
You're right.
Because
You
we do.
put out that. Oh crap.
Guys.
This Yummy Fiendsmith board is voodoo runs because your Fiendsmith cards aren't full combo here.
The Fiendsmith doesn't actually do anything onto the board until post side. Like, I don't think there's a way to put the actual good end board pieces and all the Yummy cards in the extra, so I just don't.
No, you just play Caesar. You literally just play Caesar.
I will play around
You
with
just Caesar Turbo.
Yummy Fiendsmith soon. I like to follow winning patterns, and the last time I entered a new format with Fiendsmith in my deck, I figured it out 2 days before the YCS, and I won. Anaheim. That's how I figured that deck out. 2 days of the Wednesday or some shit of the event, or the Tuesday. So you know what? Maybe I'll do the same thing this one. Maybe come Tuesday or Wednesday.
But the correct answer.
Huh?
The correct answer for Fiendsmith is to play it as a consistent engine that also just randomly makes Caesar. Because Caesar's good card into Draco Tail.
Yeah, Draco Tail. VS also gets slapped by that card.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Amazing class here. I love all the stuff. I'm glad that you guys love it too. I am excited for the next one, which is going to be on Thursday. I checked the exact time of Vancouver. It's 1 p.m. The last day to put your deck list in for Vancouver is Friday, 1 p.m. So Thursday, we're going to lock in the full list. Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be testing other fun lists out, such as Fiendsmith and Adventure, which I think is also nice. Yes, guys, Josh is fucking cheap as hell. CR 5 mana, even the Starlights are all cheap as fuck. Everything. It's absurd. And the second the balance is released, they're all going to just double. Even the supers will probably be expensive. So literally, get them all while you can. I'm going to look for, if I find someone selling them for cheap, a bunch of cores, I'm going to get them all. This is the best deck right now. I will take breakers tomorrow, but I'm going to build my breaker version of this tonight. I just want to test it out, and I would like to give Yummy Fiendsmith a real chance. So I'm going to test Yummy Fiendsmith at a nice locals tourney throughout the week. I'll let you guys know what I find. Do not miss Thursday. At some point before Vancouver, I'll insert everything we just said in all of today's training onto the spreadsheet. And it's going to be like a fucking book. The PhD book, graduate from Harvard or some shit, that you guys will all receive. I will include everyone in an email, and I'm looking forward to it. So, guys, thank you. Before I head out, can we get a spam in the chat of let's go? Can we get a let's go spam in the chat before we end up? Let's go! Beautiful. I love to see that. Thank you, guys. The next one will be awesome. I can't wait to duel. Thank you. And Thursday. Also, one more thing. Feel free, guys. In general, we chat on there all the time. I read every single comment on there every day. So just above training, where it shows replay in general, feel free. You guys have questions on the deck that will come up naturally as dueling. feel free to comment there. We all are active on there. A lot of it. Chronos are active. Godzilla's active. I'm active. We have a lot of people that left a bit earlier. Ryzek is active. Certitate is now active on it. Red Gator is active. A lot of us are active on there, and a lot. Sorry that I missed you guys. A lot of us are active. Comment all you guys like, because we have one goal, guys. One person in this Discord is winning YCS Vancouver. I hope it's myself, but I'll probably be even happier if it was one of my students. So thank you guys. I do love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Can you help me find the videos?
One sec. Click.